Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. I, Naruto, become stronger with a critical strike system. Chapter 21. At noon, several people gathered in the barbecue restaurant. This was proposed by Akamichi Choji. By the way, this place is owned by the Akamaiki family, right? Naruto hesitated. Whether this is an internal solution, Akamichi Choji is really a good chicken thief. How much is left over? Yeah, but let him go. The 9 people gathered together to eat, drink and have fun. Shikamaru sighed. This kind of situation will rarely happen in the future. Everyone should be well in the future. I'm sure I'm fine. Naruto disagrees. And it's all in the village, we can definitely find a time to get together. His thinking is changing over time. Yes, why must I leave the village? Why should I accommodate those who hate me and hate me? At that time, when I have absolute strength, I will be Hokage or something, and then throw all those guys out. Wouldn't that be all right? This place has people you like, places you like. This place is full of memories. Fallen leaves return to their roots. Naruto doesn't hate the village, he just hates the people. I think too much, I'll talk about it later. After a casual smile, Naruto raised the drink in his hand. I wish you all become stronger in the future, and all be well, don't die. Naruto, don't say such depressing words. Inuzuka's face turned green. As we all know, Naruto is a poisonous tongue. A few years ago, Mr. Mizuki, that scumbag, is still yelling in prison. Such a beautiful fiancé. In the end, I still don't know who is cheaper. Not only this incident but also many things can prove Naruto's poisonous tongue. Punish yourself 3 cups. Everyone stared at Naruto viciously, even Aburame Shino, who has always been very quiet, stared at Naruto directly. Quote. Naruto touched his nose in embarrassment. Okay, my fault, I drank 3 times the drink. Really, it's not wine, so why bother to imitate the 3 cups of self-punishment? Even the perfect banquet will end, there is no permanent banquet in the world. Sasuke looked at the classmates who left in 2s and 3s, and smiled slightly. Thanks to Naruto's existence, he has always had a good relationship with them. Although he has always been cold, these classmates don't take it seriously at all. If there is anything to do, I will call him. Is this the bond? It's boring, but it's really good. Taking a hard sip of his drink, Sasuke got up and went home. From today, he has to work harder. Although he has not surpassed Naruto, he has been catching up and never gave up. Uchiha Itachi, I will catch up and kill you. The deep voice drifted away. Oh, Naruto, you are really smart. At noon, Sarutobi Hiruzen was watching the fire, when he saw Naruto walk in carelessly, holding a photo in his hand, and took it on the table. Come on, let me prove that I will be a qualified ninja in the future. Of course, you are number 1. Sarutobi Hiruzen showed a smile. In the future, we need to work harder. The bloom of the will of fire needs you to maintain it. I see. Naruto has a serious expression. The will of fire, I went back to protect it. But I just don't know how the will of fire in my heart is different from yours. The corner of his mouth curled up. Looking at the ninja notice handed over by Sarutobi Hiruzen, he felt very happy. Turn around, and Naruto is about to leave. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded with a smile. Naruto is really a very well-behaved child. He has done naughty things all these years, but he is definitely not too much. A very decent child. Awesome. This is what a child should be like. Oh, yes, 3rd-generation old man. Naruto, who was about to leave the office, suddenly turned around, suddenly thought of something, and said with a smile, thank you for your care these years, I have a gift for you. Look, old man, this is the ninjutsu I have developed for 5 years. You are the first to see him, thank me. Transformation, seduction technique. Boom. With a flash of white eyes and lingering smoke, a beautiful woman looms in the clouds and mists, trying to figure it out on her own. Sarutobi Hiruzen stared at the scene in front of him with wide eyes. Puff. Sarutobi Hiruzen has never seen such a battle before. He was so angry just now, but now it is like a catalyst, spurting blood directly. His nose bleeds wildly, and his face turns red. He found. I seem to be getting stronger and stronger. You successfully aroused Sarutobi Hiruzen's very complicated emotions, with 100 times critical strike, and obtained the summoning technique, Ape Demon. You successfully aroused Konohamaru's admiration, 5 times the critical strike, and won the title of King of Children. Naruto. Tisk. It seems that something strange has been mixed in again. Looking sideways, the bright eyes hiding outside the door are not Konohamaru. Reluctantly holding his forehead, Naruto smiled. Old man, are you satisfied with my gift? Goodbye. With a wave of his hand, Naruto left without a cloud. As soon as the door was opened, Konohamaru staggered and fell in, looking at Naruto adoringly. I rely on, idol. The grandfather who was able to beat him vomited blood. His grandfather is known as the strongest ninja in the ninja world. Is this title going to change hands? Ahem, Naruto developed such a boring ninjutsu. This time I was just not prepared to be caught off guard. I will definitely not be caught next time, probably. Sarutobi Hiruzen cursed secretly, thinking with some uncertainty in his heart. Well, what about Konohamaru? Suddenly, he noticed that Konohamaru, who was there just now, disappeared and the door was still open. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyelids twitched. I probably went to Uzumaki Naruto, I must think he can beat me. This kid. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes flashed a trace of sadness. If these two meet together, nothing will happen. So. Konohamaru followed all the way, and followed behind Naruto. Naruto turned his head, his face covered with black lines. This guy is so funny. With your hidden skills, you can be found out every minute. Hey, I said, don't follow me. Naruto said angrily. Really, he obviously didn't say anything to him. Why he still keeps up with the sticky candy like the original book, it's unscientific. Well, the king of children. Naruto suddenly realized, as if he hadn't seen it just now, he just blended in. Could it be this? After careful study, it is true. King of children. Among the children, you are the absolute king. You have a very charismatic personality and can attract many children to come closer. Ah, this. Naruto is dumbfounded. Want to learn my ninjutsu to defeat your grandpa? Naruto cut to the chase. Getting together with his peers is also the result of his hard work. He doesn't want to appear too lonely, which is very boring. But you say play with a child. Forget it. No time, no interest. Yeah. Konohamaru jumped out and nodded hastily. The ninjutsu that Naruto performed just now was so cool that it could make Grandpa spurt blood in an instant. He realized that this is the ninjutsu he wanted most. Then you have to study. Well, go to the bookstore first, then go to the bathhouse to see what characteristics they have, and then correct yourself. Naruto is serious. Konohamaru's eyes lit up when he heard it. Amazing, big brother. He didn't expect a ninjutsu to be so complicated, no wonder he was able to defeat Grandpa. Aren't you going with me? You don't understand this. You need to comprehend this matter yourself, and then slowly figure out the most correct posture and movement. Anyway, your grandfather is idle, so you can experiment more on him. Makes sense. Konohamaru nodded seriously. Why didn't he think of this? If you don't do it once, you can do it twice, and if you don't do it twice, you can do it 3 times. One day, he will perfectly learn this ninjutsu, and then defeat Grandpa openly. From now on, I will be Hokage. Konohamaru happily rushed out. Target, bookstore. Quack. Naruto giggled wildly. Now it's a good time to watch. You successfully aroused the anger of Sarutobi Hiruzen. The critical strike was 10 times, and you got the monster meat. Naruto. Snort. I don't care about you. The next day, when Naruto and the others came to the school, they found that Iruka had already sat on the chair early, quietly watching them file in one by one. Very well, everyone is here today, so now we will start dividing classes. It's fine for everyone to wait here after class division. Your leading teacher will call one by one. When the time comes, you can follow the leading teacher. 8th class, Hyuga Hinata, Aburame Shino, Inazuka Kiba. Class 10, Yamanaka Ino, Nara Shikamaru, Akamichi Choji. Hinata. Ino. You have successfully aroused Hyuga Hinata's dissatisfaction. The critical strike is 5 times, and the ability to roll eyes has been improved. You successfully aroused Yamanaka Ino's dissatisfaction. Triple the critical strike, gain speed +1. Naruto. What's wrong with me? Oh, I want to be in the same class as me, but unfortunately this thing has already been assigned, and it is assigned according to the individual's ability and so on. Like Ino Shikacho, the three of them stay together in every split because their abilities complement each other. The same goes for Hinata and Inuzuka teeth. To put it nicely, it comes from the aspect of grades, but who would believe this? Single quote. 7th class. Uzumaki Naruto, Haruno Sakura, Uchiha Sasuke. Sasuke's eyes flashed. Very good. Being in the same class as Naruto makes it easier to compare him intuitively. Oye, it's in the same class as Sasuke, and there's someone as powerful as Naruto. Little Sakura was so happy that she almost fainted. His group is really luxurious. There are the strongest, and there are favorites. Little Sakura calculated silently, then suddenly fell silent. It seems that I am the weakest. Thinking of this, she was discouraged for a while, and she didn't see the envious and jealous expressions of Ino and Hinata at all. Why is he in the same class as Naruto? It's not fair. Their little heads were filled with anger. You successfully aroused the excitement of Haruno Sakura, tripled the critical strike, and gained the precise control of chakra. Naruto was expressionless. Used to it. Isn't this something we have known for a long time? This is your class. In Hokage's office, Sarutobi Hiruzen pointed at Sanin in the crystal ball and smiled with a pipe in his mouth. What do you think? Looking at the results, it's all good. Kakashi's eyes were like those of dead fish, looking lifeless. He thought of Might Guy. This Naruto is in his class, Might Guy will definitely come to harass them again, this time it is double. When he thought of this, he felt a little hopeless. And if I remember correctly, Uchiha Sasuke is also carrying a blood feud, and he must be restless. Adding this, it looks like Haruno Sakura who is in love with the brain. I rely on it. My class is simply hell level. Can we still have a good life after this? Kakashi's head hurts. Why did he assign such a class to me? Isn't this sincere? Actually, they are very obedient, you will know after taking them with them. Who said that? Kakashi rolled his eyes and said, I promise not to kill him. Clever. Didn't see it at all. In short, if possible, relax a little this time, don't be as harsh as before, they are still children. Sarutobi Hiruzen said earnestly. I know your thoughts, but you can't let them unite and cooperate at the beginning. It is the teacher's responsibility to adapt and teach by precept and example. I see. Kakashi pouted, but still nodded. I'll go and have a look. Crash. Suddenly, while the two were talking, the door of Hokage's office was pushed open vigorously, and Konohamaru jumped out laughing. Grandpa, I have learned a new trick, and I will definitely be able to defeat you today. Watch out. Transformation, seduction technique. Boom. White smoke flashed, and a super fat, extremely ugly woman appeared in the eyes of Sarutobi Hiruzen and Kakashi. Ah, my eyes. Puff. Sarutobi Hiruzen vomited blood, and Kakashi closed his eyes directly, the corners of his mouth twitching wildly. Is this Konohamaru? Where did you learn ninjutsu? It's too strong. This brat definitely has Naruto potential, I say. Transform me into a good one, ah. Sarutobi Hiruzen's growling voice was heard far away, lingering above Hokage's office, and it lasted for a long time. Hot eyes, really hot eyes. No, I want to comfort my old heart. Sarutobi Hiruzen squinted at Kakashi. Kakashi understood, and ran away. It's impossible not to go, this Konohamaru is too scary. He couldn't take it again. Ha ha ha, brother Naruto is right, I still need to improve. Konohamaru put his hands on his hips and laughed. Sarutobi Hiruzen's forehead jumped straight, a mouthful of old blood spewed out, and he yelled word by word, Uzumaki Naruto, I am at odds with you. You have successfully aroused Konohamaru's admiration, the critical strike is 5 times, and the power of Rasengan has been strengthened. You successfully aroused Sarutobi Hiruzen's outrageous emotions, 100 times the critical strike, and obtained the monster meat. Naruto, who had just been assigned a class, was at a loss. What's wrong with me? These two well-behaved people also contributed to the crit. And looking at this emotion, it seems that something very extraordinary has happened. I really want to see the scene at that time. Okay, now you just wait for the team leader to come over. I will take a step first and hope that you will become Chunin or even Jonin under the leadership of the team leader. Iruka dropped a word of congratulations, and left the classroom with the book in his arms. Honestly, very reluctant. After all, This is 5 years of getting along, and people will have feelings. But he knows he has to get used to it. As a class teacher, such things will often happen in the future, and I am not used to leaving early. Soon, the leading teachers came to take their class away one by one. Before leaving, Ino and Hinata were still reluctant to part. This walk, every day is a task, training, and then rest. It is impossible to be carefree like now, or become a chunin, become a jonin, and have your own independent space and time when you don't need to lead a teacher. Don't worry, everyone is doing ordinary tasks in the village, and we will be able to meet again soon. Naruto waved his hand. The little Sakura who watched this scene was envious to death. It would be nice if Sasuke could treat me like this, but Naruto is really good at saying goodbye to 2 girls by himself. You have successfully aroused the envy of Haruno Sakura, double the critical strike, and get +1 chakra quantity. Naruto squinted at little Sakura, and found that she was envious at the moment, and secretly looked at Sasuke. And Sasuke ignored little Sakura. His mind is full of training, chasing Naruto and beating the man. There is no woman in my heart, and I draw my sword to be a god of nature. This is where Sasuke is now. But why hasn't our leading teacher come yet? There were only 3 Narutos left in the classroom, and Naruto and Sasuke sat in their seats calmly. Sasuke himself can endure loneliness, and Naruto knows that Kakashi is like this. He likes to cheat people, and likes to learn from Obito. Just like this, I can recall the time with Obito. To be able to recall Obito better, so as not to forget it after a long time. Wait, Naruto lay on the table, quietly looking at the campus scenery outside. Since it will be difficult to see such a scenery in the future, he still has to take a good look at it. Yo, how are you all? The sun was thick, the classroom door was gently pushed open. Kakashi walked in and raised his hand to say hello. How are you all? Teacher, you are too late. Little Sakura was angry. The other leading teachers had already arrived, but this teacher was so unreliable and came so late. Aha, I'm sorry, I went to wash my eyes just now, and I must wash my eyes if I got hot, right? Naruto is suspicious. What is so hot in the eyes? Come on, come with me. Kakashi waved and brought the 3 of them to a training ground. Squinting his eyes and sitting on the railing, he said with a smile, come on, let me introduce myself. Well, dreams, names, etc. are fine. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. My dream is to be able to eat soft rice. The life of salted fish is my favorite. I don't like anything in particular. I hate stinky tofu. Forehead. This dream is really unique. The life of salted fish, I like it too. You have successfully aroused the emotional resonance of Hitaki Kakashi, the critical strike has been multiplied, and Kamui's ability has been strengthened. My name is Haruno Sakura, do you like something? Glancing at Sasuke. The person I like. Glancing at Sasuke. Nothing to hate. Kakashi raised his forehead, this is really a love brain, and finally he couldn't help looking at Sasuke. My name is Uchiha Sasuke, and my dream is to surpass Naruto and kill that man. As soon as Itachi was mentioned, Sasuke burst out with a strong killing intent. It was the man who had made himself an orphan. Without any explanation at all, a person defected out of the village and wandered outside. Sooner or later, I will stand in front of you and question you, and then, defeat you. Why do I feel that Naruto is more normal here? Kakashi glanced at the 3 of them and waved his hand. Okay, let's stop here today. My name is Kakashi. I will be your team leader from now on. We will gather here tomorrow morning. Oh, by the way, remember not to eat breakfast. Little Sakura and Sasuke are suspicious. Why don't you have breakfast? I'm afraid you'll vomit. Kakashi had a lot of meaning, and his whole body turned into white smoke and disappeared in an instant. Tisk, a deceitful tradition. Naruto curled his lips. You only need to inquire about this thing. This is an old tradition in Konoha village, and every pair of graduated ninjas moves here. Only Kakashi takes it seriously. Ah, well, from tomorrow on, it's just doing the mission, and the life of a ninja begins. Look forward to. Naruto stretched himself and decided to eat well tomorrow for Kakashi's test. By the way, it can also confirm my basic ability. Fighting Kakashi, this is a very good opportunity to test your current foundation. The 3 parted ways. 2 of them even harbored future scenarios. For the future, children are looking forward to. Naruto curled his lips. It's better to play poker with Hinata and the others when I have this time. Single quote. Brother, when will you grow up? Naruto is leisurely all the way. And at this moment, Kakashi stared at the kiss heaven, the corners of his mouth twitching wildly. Gone. Cannot watch anymore. Konohamaru, you give me back my heaven of intimacy. Such a good book, such a meaningful book, but now as soon as he opened the book, Konohamaru became like that, unable to read it at all. Kakashi roared, wanting to cry but no tears. This is a wound that cannot be healed in a lifetime. Kakashi cried, my dear heaven, you have successfully aroused Kakashi's extreme anger, 1,000 times critical strike, and obtained a section of Flying Thunder God. Naruto, what the hell have I done? Naruto is confused. Every day today is inexplicable. First up is the old man Konohamaru and Sarutobi Hiruzen. Now that it's nighttime, Kakashi is here again. So, what happened? Big brother. While walking on the road, Konohamaru waved vigorously not far away, motioning for Naruto to pass. Naruto narrowed his eyes. In order to understand what was going on, he simply went over to have a look. Thinking of this, Naruto showed a kind smile on his face, walked over and patted Konohamaru on the shoulder. Seeing how excited you are, why, have you managed it? It can be practiced so quickly without anyone teaching. I have to say that Konoha village is also a little genius. Yeah, it's not as difficult as you said. Konohamaru rubbed his hands excitedly. I challenged my grandpa today. Did you know that grandpa chased and killed me 3 streets today? This. Naruto was dumbfounded. Why, what kind of enmity? What kind of resentment, to lay such a deadly hand on his grandson? Isn't it just a seduction technique? Shouldn't Sarutobi Hiruzen cry with joy? Incomprehensible. That's awesome, it's you, brother. Konohamaru smiled. On the way back, Grandpa said he would beat you to death because you taught me badly, but I think, Grandpa must be angry when he is about to be defeated by me. Ahem, what, Konohamaru, what have you done? Naruto's face turned green. This is not quite right. Why did Sarutobi Hiruzen kill me? Coupled with the emotional fluctuations I saw today, Naruto suddenly had a bad premonition. It's nothing, I'm just using the ninjutsu you taught me to challenge my grandfather. That's it. Naruto is suspicious, it shouldn't be. Look at me, I have already understood your essence now. Konohamaru began to transform as if offering a treasure. Transform. Bang, smoky, a thick-lipped, overweight, big beauty, winks and moves. Naruto petrified. You are developing my seductive technique in another direction. No wonder Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to beat me to death. Seeing this makes me want to kill myself. How, it's amazing. The corners of Naruto's mouth twitched, and he nodded against his will. You are the best, I am ashamed as a teacher, you are awesome. What else can I do? This is also a way of thinking for the time being, the kind of disgusting death. If you meet a female ninja, transform into her appearance, and try to make it as ugly as possible. It is estimated that most female ninjas will be so angry that 1 Buddha ascends to heaven and 2 Buddhas come out of their bodies. Calmness has nothing to do with them. Why, at this time, your chance has come. Well, if Kagaya comes out, can you try transforming for a while? Naruto unknowingly thought wrongly, and a lot of saucy operations popped up in his mind in an instant. Not to mention, very promising. Naruto gave Konohamaru a meaningful look, and said solemnly, Congratulations, Konohamaru, you have graduated. You are a genius. I have nothing left to teach you. You will have to research and discover by yourself in the future. Come on, I am optimistic about you. Oh, Konohamaru's eyes lit up when he heard the words, and he nodded solemnly, I will definitely carry forward the technique of seduction. First, set a small goal and defeat my grandpa. Be Hokage. Ha ha ha. Konohamaru seems to have thought of the scene where he defeated his grandfather and became Hokage in the future, with his hands on his hips and his toes high. Naruto smiles. Very good. That's how it should be. Go ahead as much as you want, boy, I really like you. Certainly, provided you are not killed. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was smoking a cigarette, sneezed suddenly, touched his nose and muttered inwardly, who is thinking of me, it can't be that kid Konohamaru again. Single quote. Sarutobi Hiruzen shuddered at the thought of Konohamaru. The scene in the morning is so fresh in his memory that he still hasn't recovered from it. But this kid is very keen on challenging himself. Do I have to avoid him in the future, lest he come to disgust me? For those who like this mouthful, there is nothing more terrifying than seeing that scene, it is like a nightmare. Unfortunately, Konohamaru is his grandson. Oh shit. It's all Naruto's fault. You wait for me, Sarutobi Hiruzen muttered, his face turned hard. Hokage revenge, seize the day, don't you have to do the task, hee hee hee. The next day, Naruto got up early, ate something casually and set off to gather. Although he knew that Kakashi would come late, but this is an attitude to life, since you said to gather early, then I will go. But eating this thing, have I had breakfast? No. It was supper, but I ate a little late, you can't blame me for that, can you? Wiping the minced meat from the corner of his mouth, Naruto washed his face and set off. The morning sun had just risen and shone on the bodies of several people, making their shadows long. Good morning, good morning. Sasuke and little Sakura were drowsy, and it seemed that they didn't have a good rest yesterday. Look at Naruto again, he is full of energy, with a faint smile on the corner of his mouth, and his whole person is sunny. Good morning, Naruto greeted with a smile. Sasuke. Little Sakura, you have successfully aroused Haruno Sakura's curiosity, doubled the critical strike, and gained 1,000 years of death. You successfully aroused Sasuke's curiosity, doubled the critical strike, and obtained the Konohamaru version of seduction technique. Naruto. Good guy, they are all underworld skills. But whether using the last one will damage your own reputation, you should be cautious. Why are you so energetic? I didn't sleep well yesterday because I was too excited and lost weight. I'm already hungry. Little Sakura touched her belly and smiled wryly. I hope Teacher Kakashi will take me to eat. Sasuke didn't speak. He didn't eat much yesterday, and he's a little hungry now. Naruto looked strange, and subconsciously moved away from the two of them. Don't let them smell of Warcraft meat. Especially little Sakura. You are so brave, no wonder you can become the heroine. Just this courage. Admire. What's your expression? It's nothing. Compared to losing weight, I prefer to eat more because I exercise a lot. Ninjas are rarely fat because they train a lot every day. So they basically eat a lot of food, and then they are chubby where they should be fat, and they look thin where they should be thin. Overall, it will look very beautiful, and it will add a lot of points. If the face is also beautiful at this time, then she is definitely a big beauty. There are not many people who are as fat as Anko in the future. So seeing little Sakura like this, Naruto wanted to say, it's not necessary. Look at Hinata, who eats a lot, but even if he is in good shape, he will be fat in the places that should be fat in the future, which is very good. Hey, I don't know when Kakashi-sensei will come. Little Sakura was lying on the railing, bored. Naruto even lay there to rest. For him, Kakashi probably won't come until around 10 o'clock, and it's only after 6 o'clock, and some people are waiting, so it's better to lie here, take out a storybook, and read it happily. Little Sakura and Sasuke looked envious at this scene. You successfully aroused the envy of Haruno Sakura, got triple crit, and got shadow clone technique. You successfully aroused the envy of Uchiha Sasuke, the critical strike is 5 times, and you get Reikiri. Naruto. Do you still have the book? No, I just brought one. All right. Little Sakura and Sasuke looked disappointed, then suddenly raised their brows, smiled, and moved over together. Naruto. You two are really welcome. In a blink of an eye, more than 2 hours passed, the sun was shining brightly, the weather was clear, and there were only a few clouds floating in the sky. Yo, good morning. Suddenly, a chuckle. Kakashi appeared on the railing, planted his feet firmly on the rounded railing, and greeted them. You are late, little Sakura yelled. It's been so long since you came here, and you let us come here so early. Single quote. We were so stupid to support you that we didn't even eat breakfast. Little Sakura is full of resentment. Kakashi narrowed his eyes and waved his hands. Don't worry, I just saw an old lady crossing the road on the road, and I helped you out. You don't even have the awareness of respecting the old and loving the young, do you? Depend on. Moral kidnapping. Sasuke and little Sakura turned black. What does this make them say? Everything is wrong. Naruto put the storybook in his hand into the ninja bag, waiting for Kakashi's assessment. Okay, let's do the first task first, grab the bell. Jingle bell. Suddenly 2 more bells appeared in Kakashi's hands, shaking. The one who grabs the bell will be able to qualify smoothly. If you don't grab the bell, then I'm sorry. You should go back to the ninja school and start over. Ah, why is that so? Little Sakura and Sasuke are awe-inspiring, especially little Sakura. She is the weakest of the 3, so is she already scheduled to go back to the ninja school? Theoretically, yes, Naruto sneered, and adjusted the non-existent glasses. This moment, he is like Conan possessed. Under the curious eyes of Kakashi and the others, Naruto's voice was unhurried, but, this is just a routine. I have studied it, and although they don't want to say it, after years of observation, every graduate will encounter this situation. The teacher is just checking our strength level symbolically, and will not really let you go back to school. It's been so many years, have you seen anyone who went back to the ninja school? Really? Small Sakura and Sasuke suddenly wake up. This Kakashi is cheating them, and they have never heard of such a thing in the past 5 years. Kakashi. Hey, what's going on here? Uzumaki Naruto, have you been working on this all day? Kakashi suddenly had a bad feeling. You successfully aroused Kakashi's bad mood, doubled the critical hit, and gained defense +1. But Mr. Kakashi's quiz is different, he is serious. Naruto continued. That is to say, if there are no accidents, little Sakura will be eliminated. Ah, why is this so? Single quote. Little Sakura was stunned. She believed in Naruto's words. But, can you please stop panting? Little Sakura went crazy, wishing to punch him. Naruto smiled. As long as we are united, we can pass the test. How about it, Mr. Kakashi? What I said is not bad. Kakashi. Looking at the 3 pairs of eyes that looked over in unison, Kakashi was stunned. This Uzumaki Naruto is poisonous, you have studied this stuff so thoroughly. Also, is your observation ability too strong? You have noticed this. You have finished all this, and I still inspect the wool. Kakashi almost ran away. He is usually the one who messes with other people's mentality, but he didn't expect Naruto to mess up the mentality on the first day of leading the team. This is straightforward. If he doesn't know himself well, he will believe that this guy is an undercover agent who has been hiding for many years. You have successfully caused Hatake Kakashi's inner collapse, the critical strike is 10 times, and you have obtained the enhanced version of 1000 Years of Death. 1000 Years of Death enhanced version. Naruto was a little surprised. After a closer look, Naruto realized. This thing can be driven by chakra, and the person who beats it can't take care of himself. Pure underworld skills. Naruto's butt shrank subconsciously, breaking out in a cold sweat. Taking a deep breath, Kakashi looked at Naruto helplessly. I said, don't say these things out, it will be very difficult for me. Since this is the case, there is no need to test anything. You attack with all your strength, and let me test your strength. What else can Kakashi do? Let's mix it. As Sarutobi Hiruzen said, teach by precepts and deeds. It seems that they are not the kind of people who will abandon their partners, and slowly instill their own ideas in the future. And now, it's time to test the strength of these 3 people. Ready, go, brush. The 3 disappeared instantly. Well, it's all hidden. Kakashi narrowed his eyes and sensed carefully. With his keen eyesight and experience, he knows where little Sakura and Sasuke are hiding in a matter of moments. It's not bad, the basic skills are very solid, but it's a pity that I don't have enough experience. But what about Uzumaki Naruto? Kakashi frowned. He found that the number 1 in this school was a bit real, and he didn't realize it right away. Interesting. Kakashi twitched his mouth and narrowed his eyes, revealing his signature smile. This Uzumaki Naruto deserves to be the first in grade, which is a bit interesting. After sleeping all night, I finally get rid of the picture, and I can read normally. Kakashi put his hand on the ninja tool bag. A weapon. Is it kunai, or chinbin? Sasuke and little Sakura looked lingeringly, quietly getting ready to move. Brush. A book was pulled out by Kakashi. Sasuke. Little Sakura, you underestimated us too much. Sasuke was a little angry, but little Sakura didn't care. Jonin, they are strong for sure, and it's okay to underestimate them. Well, Kakashi is an elite jonin, and his strength is beyond doubt. Naruto hid in the treetops, watching Kakashi silently. He wants to test his strength. Sloppy, I should stand there and fight Kakashi seriously, so that I can test my basic strength. Then start with speed. Naruto's eyes froze, turned into an afterimage, and appeared in front of Kakashi in a blink of an eye. The pain in his hands was gone. Clang. Kakashi subconsciously blocked Naruto's attack, but he was a little horrified to find that Naruto was using pure speed. Yes, it is the kind of explosive speed in an instant, not ninjutsu such as body flicker technique. This is almost as good as an ordinary ninja using the body flicker technique. Kakashi cursed inwardly. You successfully aroused Kakashi's inner surprise, tripled the critical strike, and obtained aura green vegetables. The speed is okay, but Mr. Kakashi seems to be able to handle it with ease. Looking at the strength, Naruto backed away, grinning at Kakashi, then stepped forward, and kunai stabbed again. It's still the same speed, but the difference is that Naruto's whole body strength is concentrated on one point, condensed on kunai. Wang. This thorn seemed to produce an explosion. Kakashi gasped and blocked again. Clang. Kakashi only felt a huge force coming from the kunai body, and the whole person floated back uncontrollably. Kakashi's eyes bulged. You have successfully aroused Kakashi's frightened mood. The critical hit is 5 times, and the gain speed is +1. It's a combination of strength and speed, and the defense is fine. It's nice to have this. Not everyone likes to be beaten. Naruto paused, and smiled brightly as Kakashi watched the monster extend. Mr. Kakashi, I'm going to be serious next. Kakashi, you haven't done your best yet. Well, it's just a sudden burst of speed and strength, it's not really full strength. The strength of a ninja is linked to ninjutsu. Now I know why Might Guy wants to stalk you. With this speed and strength, it would be strange if he wasn't crazy. You successfully aroused Might Guy's surprise and trembling emotions, critically struck seniors, and gained physique +10. Hiss. Naruto, who was about to use ninjutsu, froze. What's the situation? Where is Might Guy? That's it, I really didn't see the wrong person. Not far away. Might Guy was waiting for this day. When he saw the speed and passion displayed by Naruto, oh no, it was speed and power, he sealed his demon. The speed, the power. How strong would Naruto be if he followed his own training? Dad, I seem to have seen a real physical god. No, I must teach him all my taijutsu experience. Kakashi, draw your sword. Might Guy shuddered. There was never a moment when he wanted to give Kakashi so much, and third Hokage by the way. What are they? If Naruto had been a student under him, 1 year later, he might have become awesome. You have successfully aroused Might Guy's desire to completely own you, get 10 times the critical strike, and get Warcraft meat. Cough cough cough. Naruto coughed dryly, completely lost the mood of the test. This Might Guy is as disgusting as ever. What does it mean to completely own me? Am I the kind of man who will belong to only one person? Ah bah, no, I belong to the glamorous girls, not to your grandpas. Naruto just felt tight all over, and there was a strong malice all around, wanting to own him. It was terrible. Come again. Kakashi waved to Naruto. I want to know where your limit is. As for Sasuke and little Sakura, sorry, you guys are just passing by. There was one Naruto in his life enough to brag about. Sasuke, little Sakura. Did Kakashi forget about them? Seeing this, Naruto shook his head. Forget it, don't come, I can't beat you now. Strength is strength, experience is experience, and these two things cannot be confused. Now if Naruto uses various methods to match the number of chakra, he may be able to fight Kakashi back and forth, but experience needs to be understood by himself. What is written in the book is only theory, and it is the last word of accumulating experience to put it into practice. Of course, if Naruto can have absolute strength, then everything will not be a problem. I will leave the village soon, and I will be a very good tool man if I don't cut it off. It's a pity, you know the body flicker technique. Kakashi looked at Naruto, and didn't think this evildoer would know the body flicker technique. At the beginning, multiple shadow clone will know, there is no reason not to body flicker technique. By the way, Might Guy can't let Might Guy know that Naruto is so evil, otherwise he will have to fight me hard. Kakashi's heart moved, and he planned to hide this matter for as long as he could. Okay, you go to the side, I'm going to check Sasuke and little Sakura. With Naruto's strength, there is no need to test it, just that speed and strength are enough to deal with many ninjas. This is the absolute change brought about by strength. Next, Sasuke and little Sakura finally saw what elite Jonin is. The strong one is outrageous, and they simply don't have the time and ability to react. All are played in the palm of your hand. At last, little Sakura was tied to a pillar by Kakashi for the reason of love brain. Okay, I rewarded you with these 2 lunch boxes. If you give little Sakura food and I find out, you will fail all of them. Leaving a word coldly, Kakashi left quietly. Cuckoo. Little Sakura looked depressed, sad, and very hungry. She didn't eat last night, she didn't eat this morning, and she was abused all morning, and she didn't seem to be able to eat at noon. So miserable, she wants to cry. Well, it's much more comfortable that way. Looking at the way little Sakura is tied up, not to mention, the outline is a bit round, no wonder she wants to lose weight. 2 men and 1 woman. To be fair, of course the women should be tied to it. Naruto was extremely comfortable in his heart, but he still handed over the box lunch in his hand. Here, you can eat. The little Sakura was taken aback, but she didn't say anything. Sasuke beside her also handed over the lunch box, but her face was still indifferent. Little Sakura was even more moved, with tears streaming down her face and her voice choked up. Thank you Naruto, thank you Sasuke, but what do you do? I'm fine, I'm just hungry at most. Sasuke waved his hand generously. Didn't Naruto say that we should help each other and unite? Naruto laughed dryly. I just ate too much this morning, there is no other meaning, don't be too moved. Little Sakura, Sasuke, the 2 petrified. You have successfully aroused Haruno Sakura's inner anger, the critical strike is 10 times, and the number of chakra obtained is +1. You have successfully aroused Uchiha Sasuke's surprised emotions, triple the crit, obtained fire style, double great fireball. You successfully aroused Kakashi's helpless emotions, the critical hit was 5 times, and Reikiri became stronger. Naruto had a strange look on his face. Well you Kakashi, sure enough you are watching from the dark. The next scene is just like the original, they successfully passed Kakashi's test. You didn't listen to what Kakashi-sensei said. Go and have breakfast. On the way home, Sasuke was puzzled. Why are you so brave? Little Sakura also looked over curiously. Naruto corrected him righteously. I didn't eat breakfast, but supper. It's just that I ate a little late. Don't get me wrong. I believed in your evil. The 2 were speechless, snorted coldly, and parted ways. Yo, might guy. On the other side, Kakashi was hiding in a corner reading a book. Suddenly a person came from below. Kakashi looked intently and couldn't help but raised his hand to say hello. Draw your sword, Kakashi. Kakashi, Uzumaki Naruto is mine. Puff. Kakashi almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. How do you know? HMPH, come to a youth duel. I won. Uzumaki Naruto is mine, you won. I will challenge you again. You are shameless. Kakashi never thought that such a straightforward Might Guy also has such a side. Come, my old enemy. Might Guy said in a deep voice, you can't escape today. For God's sake. Kakashi was dizzy. Why Might Guy noticed the scene where Naruto cast his ability. Sin. You successfully aroused Might Guy's mood to duel with Kakashi. The critical strike was 10 times, and you got the 8 inner gates Grandmaster. Naruto had a question mark on his face. Then he was relieved to think of Might Guy peeping from the side. My charm and strength, which I have nowhere to put, are always so attracting bees and butterflies. I am also very helpless. Naruto sighed and went home to rest. The next day, it is the first day of ninja career in the true sense. I don't know what kind of mission Mr. Kakashi will receive. Little Sakura dangled her calf, a little curious. I heard that the tasks at the beginning were very simple tasks, among which cleaning the toilet was the most disgraceful. I've heard of this too, and catching cats is also a very tortuous task. Others are fine. Naruto touched his chin, and at the same time hoped that Mr. Kakashi would be more reliable and don't mess around. Shut up. Little Sakura and Sasuke glared. Don't you know that you are a crow's mouth? Well, 3rd generation, I'm not mistaken, why is there only such a task? When Kakashi came to pick up the task, he found that the simple task was swept away. leaving only a very common cleaning task, which made Kakashi a little dumbfounded. Can't you? Are all the fresh graduate kids in Konoha village this efficient now? Well, take it. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded calmly with a pipe in his mouth. There is indeed only such a mission, there is no way, you are too late. Late ball. Kakashi was powerless to complain. Although it was a bit late, it was absolutely impossible to have only such a task, and there must be tricks in it. Okay, I've accepted this task. What can Kakashi do? You are Hokage, you have the final say. And it's not me doing the task, I can completely watch from the sidelines. This is experience. Yes, it is something that young ninjas who have just graduated must have experienced. Ms. Kakashi is back. Far away, little Sakura and the others saw Kakashi leisurely walking over, and couldn't help but look forward to it, looking at Kakashi expectantly with their small eyes. Facing this look, Kakashi suddenly felt guilty. With a dry cough, Kakashi tried to calm himself. Well, today's task is to clean up. Cleaning. Naruto and the others looked at Kakashi's embarrassed expression, and couldn't help but thump in their hearts. Sasuke and little Sakura looked at Naruto directly in unison. Naruto's face was covered with cold sweat, and he muttered, I'll just say it casually, who knew such a result? Single quote. Well, indeed, you all guessed it, it's cleaning the toilet. Most of the toilets in the village belong to us. Ah, don't, little Sakura screamed. Naruto and Sasuke also twitched their mouths. Life suddenly became so dark. The vigorous mission mode starts from this day. From this day on, they turned into spinning tops and began to do tasks non-stop every day. Catch cats, pull weeds, clean toilets. There is no normal task, either exhausting or smelly. I said, Mr. Kakashi, have you offended the old man third generation? Why are you doing this task? Naruto protests. Look at Hinata and the others. Cleaning is also a bathhouse. It is never dry to catch cats, and it is easy to water. Looking at ourselves. Pulling weeds is a large field, and everyone else belongs to the family. Is this comparable? Kakashi coughed dryly, and was not happy to hear Naruto's inquiry, so he replied directly, according to my investigation, you are the source of everything. Naruto had a question mark on his face. Little Sakura and Sasuke also looked over kindly. That's right, it's you. Kakashi pointed at Naruto and trembled. He was fed up, and when he heard Naruto complained, he immediately started to spray. If you hadn't taught Konohamaru the reverse version of the seduction technique, would third generation target our class like this? Forehead. Naruto is embarrassed. And this one, shit, third generation, you're too vengeful. And this is your grandson's problem, why blame it on me? Naruto felt aggrieved. He clearly taught the normal version before, but who knew that Konohamaru was so talented that he comprehended the reverse version by himself? It's your fault, third generation old man. Sasuke and little Sakura glared even more when they heard this. Okay, the source of all emotions is in you. The criminals were outraged. Naruto shrank his neck, raised his hand and asked weakly, but it can't be targeted like this, it's using power for personal gain. Kakashi sneered and didn't speak anymore. Using power for personal gain. Didn't he, third generation, do few things over the years, that's all. It's a piece of cake and no one will offend. You have successfully aroused the anger of Kakashi and the three of them, the critical hit is 10 times, and the resistance to beating is +1. Naruto. Konohamaru, you're not strong enough. Naruto let out a long sigh, and this matter was revealed with Kakashi's outburst. Life goes on, and tasks go on. It's all unlucky anyway, and I don't care about the past few months. Habits are a terrible thing. They are now able to talk and laugh in the toilet. Just a bit of useless soap. It's incredible that they can persist. Sarutobi Hiruzen has actually been waiting for Naruto to make trouble, but it turns out that there is no movement at all, which is really strange. When did they tolerate it so much? Have you become a ninja and matured? Ha ha ha, Grandpa, I've achieved amazing feats, look at my seduction technique. Suddenly, at this moment, the sound of Konohamaru's wild laughter came, and a small figure flashed into Hokage's office. Seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen here, his eyes lit up, and he shouted, transform. Ah, my eyes. Sarutobi Hiruzen was terrified, but it was too late, he just looked straight, covered his eyes and let out a scream. This is torture. It not only irritates the eyes, but also shakes the heart, leaving him traumatized. It is unknown in his later years that he, an old man who likes to look at beauties, actually has such a grandson. Will of Fire, come and accept this evildoer. How much he now hopes that Naruto's kind voice will come, and there will be a transformation, and a beautiful woman will appear. Certainly, they're doing the job, which is a huge luxury. It's a crime. Ha ha ha, brother Naruto is really amazing, I have to keep working hard. This time it just made Grandpa scream, and next time he must fall to the ground. Konohamaru jumped out of Hokage's office in high spirits. The two Anbu members who were guarding the door looked at each other, their cheeks twitching, they were really strong and filial. If they had such a grandson in their family. The two couldn't help shivering. Look at third Hokage, it's really too much bragging, and his old age is unknown. Recently, third Hokage has been cheating on Naruto, but I don't know who is cheating who. The two shook their heads, looking at their noses with their eyes, and their hearts with their noses. They are also afraid of being targeted by third Hokage. Cough cough cough, you brat. Sarutobi Hiruzen coughed and turned pale, he really couldn't stand it anymore. Crystal ball, pipe, my favorite. Sarutobi Hiruzen stroked his beard. No, Konohamaru must be sent to school, and that Uzumaki Naruto must be sent out of the village to do missions. Since you can't hide, then come out of sight and out of mind. However, there haven't been any simple tasks to leave the village recently. It seems that we have to wait. Sarutobi Hiruzen muttered, took a deep breath, and planned to go for a walk to relax. Besides, a sign is to be erected outside Hokage's office. Sarutobi Hiruzen thought for a while, or, Konohamaru and dogs can't enter. Is it too cruel? Sarutobi Hiruzen's thoughts of hating treachery flashed one by one. You have successfully aroused the emotion that Sarutobi Hiruzen expected, the critical strike is 5 times, and the full attribute chakra attribute has been obtained. Hiss. Naruto, who was taking a bath, gasped. What's wrong with this third-generation old man, why are you still looking forward to it? But I'm sorry, today's friends gathering, I won't meet your expectations. Naruto smiled confidently. I'm still handsome, not much worse than Sasuke, no, even more handsome. Haha, toilet god tier, here you come. When Naruto and the others arrived, Inuzuka laughed loudly. I heard that you offended Hokage, and the missions given to you are all kind of deceitful. Isn't it? Depend on which pot is not opened and which pot is lifted. Naruto and the others looked dark and nodded helplessly. There is no way to deny this. Unacceptable. Hinata and Ino murmured, and sniffed Naruto unobtrusively. Hey, it doesn't smell bad, it smells good. The two were relieved. Naruto had black lines on his face. You have agreed with each other, this uniform movement. The corners of Aburame Shino's mouth grinned, and insects flew around, showing his inner unrest. Hey, there's no way, so be it. Anyway, this kind of task can't be done for long, and I mostly use Shadow Clone, it's nothing. Sasuke and little Sakura looked over blankly. They will not Shadow Clone. So old miserable. What to eat today? I want to turn my grief into strength. Hinata, what do you think? Hinata sat aside, blushing, and nodded lowly. She realized it later, and was still recalling the action just now. So bold. When he thought of that scene, his face turned red, and he felt like fainting. You successfully aroused Hyuga Hinata's shyness, tripled the critical strike, and gained the ability to roll eyes. Naruto glanced at Hinata thoughtfully. It just so happens that everyone is still in the village now, and these light spots on the body are of no use. From now on, start to cultivate girls who like me and girls I like. Time to get on the agenda. Naruto smiled slightly. He still wants to hide behind their backs and eat soft food. Be the successful man behind the strong woman. Quack. Hinata, Ino, I'll take you home later. Naruto said hello. A few people on the side looked over ambiguously. This age is not a big deal, and they don't care about Naruto's invitation to the two girls. This is what you want. And although it seems that monogamy is practiced in this era, they all understand that when you are strong enough, no one will restrict you with such things. Some even have to climb up. Of course they have a purpose in doing this. How about playing with your genes? This kind of thing often happens in their own homes. Moreover, big families like the Uchiha and Hyuga families value their own bloodlines even more, and intermarriage between families is even more normal. So they are not surprised. On the contrary, I am very blessed. Hinata and Ino were taken aback. They are in opposite directions, and they are not in the same way. But seeing Naruto's meaningful expression, they couldn't help but feel moved. They thought they had something to tell them, and they immediately nodded shyly. There have been many storms of thought in the little head. Soon, this dinner party is finally over. Tomorrow they will go their separate ways and do various tasks. They are so busy every day, but they prefer their current life compared to the stereotyped life in school. Chatting together is also more topical. 3 people are walking on the road. Hinata is usually seen a little tight, so Naruto said at the beginning that Hinata should be sent back first, lest Hyuga Hiyashi, the future father-in-law, come out to look for it. This person is fierce to Hinata in his mouth, but he has various relationships with Hinata behind his back. 2. Who doesn't like such a cute little girl? Naruto likes it too. Naruto, is there something for you to pull us out alone? The 3 of them walked on the road, and the atmosphere was a little strange. The lively and cheerful Ino couldn't stand the silent atmosphere at first, so he asked immediately. There is something. Naruto raised his head, smiled slightly at the 2 of them, raised his hand and patted Hinata's head. A white spot of light silently merged into Hinata's body. Wang! Hinata only felt a cool feeling coming from Naruto's hand, and then he was taken aback. Somehow, she seemed to feel that something strange had merged into her body and merged with herself. Then she was surprised to feel a coolness coming from her white eyes. It seems that the whole person has been sublimated. She could more intuitively feel that some inexplicable changes had taken place in her eyes. How does it feel? Seeing Hinata open his eyes and look over, the surprised expression on his face couldn't be concealed. Naruto smiled slightly, and asked in a low voice, do you feel much better? Yeah. Hinata didn't think of anything else at all, so she wasn't shy either. At this moment, she is still immersed in the changes just now and cannot extricate herself. You successfully arouse the surprise in Hyuga Hinata's heart. The critical strike is 10 times, and you get Tenseigen fragments +1, Hyuga Hinata's favorability +1. There are still fragments. Naruto was surprised, and then he put away the spot of light indifferently. Fragments are purely a pit, and you don't know how long it will take to collect them. The most important thing is that often he will be stuck at the last one, and he will not give it to you if he dies. Isn't that what the lottery is like? Got used to. But sure enough, because after several years of critical attacks, the conditions have been met, so you can increase your favorability by the way, which is very good. At that time, they will all have full level favorability, and I feel very excited when I think about it. What charades are you playing? Yamanaka Ino on the side looked at the 2 in a daze. How could it feel like just one shot? What are you talking about? She wants to know too. Naruto smiled gently, and stroked Ino's long blonde hair. Just like before, a speck of light silently merged into it. Wang! Yamanaka Ino was also dumbfounded. She felt that her comprehension of the heart-turning technique was getting deeper, and she had novel ideas and changes. This. Ino stammered and looked at Naruto. The shock in his heart can be imagined. Naruto actually has such an incredible ability, which can enhance other people's understanding of ninjutsu. You successfully aroused Yamanaka Ino's shock and admiration, 10 times the critical strike, gaining physique +1, and Yamanaka Ino's favorability +1. A smile appeared on the corner of Naruto's mouth. Don't tell me. In the future, we have to become stronger together. Aha! The 2 little girls nodded sharply, with expressions we all understand. Yeah, it's hard to keep up with Naruto, but with this they can at least keep up, and not be pulled too far behind Naruto. The 2 looked at Naruto adoringly. This is the person I chose, who is as good as a dragon and a phoenix among people. For a moment, the 2 of them were infatuated. Okay, it's getting late, it's time to go back. If you don't go back to you, cough cough, Uncle Hiyashi is going to be in a hurry. Naruto coughed dryly and sent Hinata and Ino back separately. It's just that the pedestrians on the road have strange eyes. They couldn't understand why such a demon fox was favored by the 2 women. And the background of these 2 women is not ordinary. Strange. Could it be that this is the magic method of the demon fox? For a moment, everyone was terrified, and all avoided Naruto, not daring to look at Naruto at all. Even those who have beautiful girls at home were reminded thousands of times not to stare at Naruto's light blue eyes, otherwise they will fall into the enchantment and cannot extricate themselves. Naruto had black lines on his face. Depend on. What kind of plane? How do you look at me like a scourge? Naruto was puzzled, but he was already used to this kind of situation, so he didn't care, and went home directly. If nothing else, tomorrow will still be the annoying task of cleaning the toilet. Life is hard. PFF'd ha ha ha. Sarutobi Hiruzen was reading a book at home. When he heard Anbu's summons, he thought something happened, and that's it. A bewitching demon fox. Ha 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 ha. Laughing and laughing, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't laugh anymore. Gone. What am I kidding? This is a compliment to Naruto. 2. Wrong. It should say 3. When I think about Naruto being so courageous, and all the girls he likes are pretty girls, it doesn't matter, the key is the background and everything. Needless to say, every day, the little rich woman is beautiful. Ino too, little rich woman, beautiful. Not to mention Hinata, she is also rich and beautiful. Gone. Sarutobi Hiruzen was stunned. This is a person. Take all the potential stocks in the village and leave no one behind. At that time, the whole village will be the legend of Naruto. Looking at myself, guarding a Lake Biwa, a dedicated group. At most, I would sneak a peek at the bathhouse. Compared with Naruto, I am simply a model among men. Sarutobi Hiruzen is envious and jealous. Why didn't I have this courage at that time, otherwise my life is absolutely beautiful now. Correct, Lake Biwa has passed away for so many years, shouldn't he also find one to live with him? The image of Udatane Koharu flashed in Sarutobi Hiruzen's mind immediately. Puff, spewing out a mouthful of water, Sarutobi Hiruzen hurriedly shook off the terrifying thought in his mind. How could I think of her? I really saw a ghost. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked like he had seen a ghost. He hurriedly opened the crystal ball, and used the telescope technique to suppress his shock. The scene just now was too terrifying. You have successfully aroused Sarutobi Hiruzen's envy, jealousy and hatred. The critical strike has been multiplied, and you have obtained Warcraft meat. Hey, monster meat. Naruto didn't care either. Sarutobi Hiruzen's telescope technique can see many places, and the picture of him with Hinata Ino is also normal. Is it normal to be envious and jealous? Naruto smiled, and returned home alone, seeing so many light spots in the space, all of which were monster meat, green vegetables with aura and water with aura. A lot of these things come out of crit, and I can't finish them all by myself. Ino has eaten it, so she is also very powerful now, only Tiantian and Hinata have not eaten it yet. It cannot be distributed unevenly, which is not conducive to a harmonious life in the future. Naruto touched his chin and thought, tomorrow, I must gather them together and have fun together. It's a good idea and can be implemented. As for other people's thoughts, that has nothing to do with him. I simply invited friends over for dinner. Brush your teeth, wash your face, and go to bed. In the blink of an eye, this kind of time has passed for another half a month. This day, Sarutobi Hiruzen is screening the mission. After the envy, jealousy and hatred last time, he has no interest in targeting Naruto, and Naruto and the others have done many easy tasks these days. Third generation, look at this. Uruka is helping to organize the task list. Recently, there are a lot of tasks and they are very complicated, so when he is free, he will come to help organize the tasks and classify them. This is. Sarutobi Hiruzen took the task list in Uruka's hand with a pipe in his mouth, looked carefully, and began to frown. The Kingdom of Waves. Yes, the Land of Waves. But as far as I know, that place is very poor. It is said to be a country, but it is actually a very small island. Hearing Uruka's words, Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded. He had heard of this place too. It is said that there is a profiteer named Kaduo here. According to intelligence, this Kaduo sells drugs, runs a casino, and all the business he does is deceitful. The country of Bo, which was not rich in the first place, was turned into a miasma. Escort mission. Sarutobi Hiruzen watched silently, nodded. There is nothing wrong with this mission, maybe he is just afraid of being targeted by Kato's people. Single quote. In that case, Just leave it here and wait for someone to pick up the task. Etc. Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly stopped Iruka with a smile on his face. He was worried that Naruto would often meet Konohamaru in the village and teach him those inexplicable ninjutsu, so wouldn't this task be better? Go, bring Kakashi and the others over. The assistant on the side nodded. Third generation, do you want to? Seeing third generation nodding, Iruka was startled, but this is against the rules. They should only be able to do some ordinary tasks in the village now. Iruka, people have to go through a lot to grow. The strength of Naruto and Sasuke is useless in the village. Besides, isn't there Kakashi? It's just an escort mission. The land of waves is quite far away, and it will take more than a month to go back and forth even if there are no accidents. This time can make him relax a little bit. Brother Naruto, are you really going that long? Dusk, Konohamaru reluctantly tugged on Naruto's sleeve in the alley. He still has a lot of questions he wants to ask Brother Naruto. Brother Naruto is my life mentor, but this life mentor has to go out to do tasks, and it takes more than a month to leave. Somewhat reluctant, he also wanted to listen carefully to the teachings of the celebrity elder brother. You successfully aroused Konohamaru's reluctance, tripled the critical strike, and obtained lightning style, Rasengan. Okay, you need to practice a lot while I'm away. Your grandfather is Hokage, and he is very good at ninjutsu. You can ask him for advice, right? Oh well, Konohamaru pouted. Now grandpa sees me like a mouse seeing a cat, and it's too late to hide, so how can I teach him? This is also considered a success. Grandpa avoided fighting. Children are like this, they quickly think of happy things, and they talk and laugh with Naruto happily. Naruto watched quietly. The next day, morning, Naruto came to the gate of the village early, his face was full of excitement. He was finally leaving the village. He had been waiting for this day for a long time. Dasna, you are finally here. Hey, you're all here. Not long. Dasna walked over with a drunken appearance, and greeted with a smile. Let's go, I will leave this journey to you. Don't worry, it's just an escort mission. Generally speaking, there will be no accidents. Kakashi nodded with a smile. Escort missions only. Who said, in case of an accident? Shut up. Hearing Naruto's words, the three of Kakashi had black lines on their faces and shouted angrily in unison. You successfully aroused Hatake Kakashi's anger, tripled the critical strike, and obtained the water of spiritual energy. You have successfully aroused the anger of Haruno Sakura, tripled the critical strike, and obtained shadow clone technique. You successfully aroused Sasuke's anger, tripled the critical strike, and gained shadow clone technique ability enhancement. You have successfully aroused Dasna's curiosity, doubled the critical strike, and obtained a jug of fine wine. Naruto, is it necessary? I'm telling the truth. These days, to be honest, no one believes it. It's really not old-fashioned. I feel the need to be careful. On the way, Kakashi thought. Naruto's mouth is opened, and this possibility cannot be ignored. I agree. Sasuke and little Sakura agreed. Originally, the task this time was to learn more, but when Naruto opened his crow mouth, things went sour, and he might actually encounter enemies on the road. I just don't know if this enemy is an ordinary person or a wandering ninja. It's fine if it's an ordinary person, but if it's a wandering ninja, this matter will really rise to the existence of another level of task. This is very bad, but Kakashi can't turn his head away from doing this task because of this illusory possibility, can he? It's not realistic. Dasna on the side was sweating coldly behind his back. Depend on, is this person really so crow-mouthed that he can guess right? Fortunately, these people don't seem to realize anything, otherwise the distance here has not been long, and my purpose this time would not be in vain. You have successfully aroused Dasna's fearful emotions, doubled the critical strike, and gained the construction ability of a master builder. Naruto, this thing is interesting, glanced Dasna. The reason why he came out was mainly because he wanted to see the outside world, and to see whether Bai was a man or a woman by the way. This is a very controversial topic. Going to him this time is to reveal the truth. Cheer me up, we're going out of the confines of Konoha village. Not long. Kakashi narrowed his eyes and said lightly, it is said that the surrounding forests were created during the first generation fights, and as a result, it has become such a dense forest over time. The same is true of the dead forest in our village. Kakashi began to popularize these rumors. Naruto and the others listened carefully. They didn't know many things at all, and Sasuke was a little surprised when he heard it now. Is there really a manpower that can reach this level in this large forest? The strength of first generation is beyond what you can imagine, so he is also called the god of ninja world. It's a godlike figure. It's not right, little Sakura realized later. Didn't you say that the third generation is the strongest Hokage? Why did the first generation come out? Kakashi was silent, and then patted little Sakura on the shoulder. Just say this kind of death in front of me, don't say it in front of outsiders. Little Sakura looked terrified. Naruto smirked. Third generation's strongest Hokage. It was all blown out. He is indeed very strong, but compared with first generation, second generation, there is still a bit of a difference. It's just that with the passage of time and the boasting of third generation, many people think that third Hokage is the best. As everyone knows, a modern Raikage might be able to beat third generation. This is a kind of self-management ability. Naruto was thoughtful and felt that he had learned a lot. Is there a ferret powerful? Sasuke only cares about Uchiha Itachi. Well, this is probably about the same. Kakashi thought for a while when he heard the words, and the corner of his mouth twitched. He had never fought Itachi before, so he really didn't know about it. But, subconsciously touched his eyes. Not long ago, his eyes were constantly changing. Just don't know if the change is good or bad. But with the terrifying killing that Itachi showed in the past few years, even if someone helps him, his strength is completely beyond his ability to compare. So, there is a high probability that they will not be able to beat him. It's almost like putting gold on your face. In this world, it's best not to ignore the strength of children, they will suffer. Kakashi glanced at Naruto beside him. At the age of 12, with the basic speed and strength displayed, combined with some ninjutsu boosts, he really doesn't know how strong Naruto is when he is serious. No wonder Might Guy wants to duel with himself. Mr. Itachi, your information. In the land of rain, Hoshigaki Kisame and Itachi stood in the rain, and Hoshigaki Kisame handed over a piece of information in his hand. Itachi took it silently and glanced at it, frowning. Sasuke has already left the village. Thinking about the time is not forgiving. It has been more than 5 years, and Sasuke has graduated. In the same class as Uzumaki Naruto. There's also a girl who likes him. They are all good candidates. The corner of Itachi's mouth twitched, showing an indifferent smile. Sasuke hasn't opened his eyes yet. When the bond between them is good enough, if there are some problems on the road, it will be enough for him to open his eyes. Follow my words until the end. Sasuke, hope your future is bright. Hoshigaki Kisame shivered. Mr. Itachi's smile is so strange. Every time he meets Sasuke, his smile is so cold. What hatred, what resentment. However, Sasuke, you have slacked off a lot, and you haven't opened your eyes yet. Itachi lowered his eyebrows, and his voice was cold. Did you get warned by Naruto and others in the ninja school? Then, it's time to let you feel the pain again. You successfully aroused Itachi's malicious emotions, the critical strike was 10 times, and the Amaterasu was strengthened. Naruto, what the hell am I? This Uchiha Itachi is still thinking about me, full of malice. Could it be for Sasuke? Glancing at Sasuke who was walking, Naruto sighed deeply. It was really too dangerous to follow Sasuke, and it was enough to worry about Itachi. If the guess is correct, Itachi must have calculated little Sakura into it. No way, Uchiha Itachi is such a person. Everything is for his younger brother, and he doesn't care about anything else. In addition to the fact that Itachi has a blood-inherited disease and can't live for a few years, he will be even crazier during this time. A lunatic, a powerful lunatic is definitely not easy to mess with. I really have 8 lifetimes of blood mold. Naruto rubbed his temples and looked down at his belly. The power of the seal, when can it be lifted a little bit, chat with Nine Tails about life, and get more good things from crits. Unfortunately, there have been no ninjutsu related to the sealed space in critical strikes in these years. At this point, Naruto found it incredible. The huge Konoha village doesn't have anyone who is good at sealing technique. Is that justified? This is absolutely unjustifiable. Depend on. Naruto's face was dark, and his gaze towards Sasuke was full of resentment. Sasuke, what am I doing? You want to look at me like this? What we need to watch out for is the masked ninja. The Geto brothers secretly followed Kakashi and his group, not daring to get too close, not wanting to startle the snake. According to the intelligence, the normal level missions they receive do not count enemies like ninjas in this level of missions, so there is a high probability that this is a chunin with 3 freshly graduated brats. In the current form of Konoha village, those little devils have never been on the battlefield, so they are easy to deal with. What needs to be paid attention to is that chunin. I don't know who he is and how strong he is. Because of the existence of the replica ninja Hokage Kakashi, Konoha village has been popular with such masks in recent years, so it is not clear who this person is. But if it's just chunin, I have the advantage if I do mental arithmetic or not. The two Geto brothers analyzed for a moment, and they were immediately full of confidence. This masked person can't be the real Hokage Kakashi, it's impossible, a mission of this level is not received by a ninja of his level. This is too cheap. So, we're safe, and we can kill them if we're careful. Then, kill this Dazna, go back and report to Mr. Zabuza. Well, it's not far from Konoha village, let's talk about it later. The two looked at each other, smiled sinisterly, and passed by the side at a very fast speed, surpassing the past without attracting Kakashi's attention. Sitting on the sidelines, waiting for Kakashi and his party to take the bait. You successfully aroused the emotion that the ghost brother killed you, tripled the critical strike, and obtained the body of water. Naruto paused and continued walking. History is still that history, but Uzumaki Naruto is no longer that Uzumaki Naruto. Future ninja world, I am coming. The corner of Naruto's mouth curled up, showing a faint smile, looking very confident. Here they come. Brother Geto was waiting in front of him, and he couldn't help but heave a sigh of relief when he saw a group of people walking far away. Fortunately, they walked this road according to their original plan, and didn't take another road for other reasons. Then, let's begin. The two formed seals, spat lightly, and made a puddle on the ground. Then used the water to sneak into it, quietly waiting for Kakashi and the others to take the bait. Kakashi and his group approached gradually, and Kakashi frowned suddenly when he saw this small puddle. Gone. Kakashi roared in his heart. Uzumaki Naruto, you scum, it really is a crow's mouth, Mizuki and the others are really right. He took it. This person's mouth really seems to have been opened, the good spirit does not work the bad spirit. It wasn't long before he walked out of the village that he encountered the enemy. Kakashi cursed in his heart, but his face remained calm, and he walked quietly through the small puddle. You have successfully aroused Hokage Kakashi's insulting emotions, doubled the critical strike, and gained Kamui's ability enhancement. The corner of Naruto's mouth twitched. He could already imagine how speechless Kakashi was in his heart, and he must have scolded him to pieces. Looking at the small puddle, no matter how you look at it, it is very dazzling. It's very sunny, and the surrounding area is very dry. You'd better make a small puddle here. Is it looking down on me as a prophet or looking down on everything I learned in school? But looking at Sasuke and little Sakura, Naruto touched his nose resentfully. All right, learning and experience are two different things. It's hard for a ninja at the beginning to notice these, just look at the two guys and know everything. Walking to the side of the small puddle, Naruto stared at the small puddle. Kakashi frowned. Oh, did you notice? Sure enough, the academic performance is the first. This observation is great. Sasuke and little Sakura looked over suspiciously. It was only then that Sasuke noticed that the small puddle was abnormal, but little Sakura didn't have this awareness, and it was a little strange. Not to mention Dazna, he's not even a ninja. You have successfully aroused the nervousness of the Ghost Brothers, the critical strike is 5 times, and you have obtained the Mist Shinobi technique. Brothers underwater, aren't you nervous? Naruto said suddenly. I don't know how you feel if I get some pepper. Naruto touched the ninja bag and took out a bottle of pepper. He is really angry. What kind of feeling will people who use this water style encounter this kind of pepper? I never had the chance before, but now I can give it a try. Thinking of this, Naruto quickly unscrewed the cap of the pepper powder and poured down a large bottle of pepper powder. I fall. Kakashi almost fell. After staring at it for so long, I thought you were doing something, but you were doing an experiment. Poor enemy. Brother Geto scolded even more angrily. and hurriedly jumped out and looked at Naruto with an ugly face. They don't even think about the consequences of trying. Now that you've been discovered, let's do it with real swords and guns. You have successfully aroused the anger of the Ghost Brothers, the critical strike is 10 times, and the Mist Shinobi technique has been strengthened. Who are you? Kakashi asked in a deep voice, why are you staring at us? HMPH, there's no need for the dead to know this. Indeed, the dead don't need to know this. The deep voice drifted away, and Naruto suddenly appeared in front of the Ghost Brothers. Body flicker technique. Brush. A cold light flashed across a handful of kunai. Brother Gatu's neck felt cold, and 2 pillars of blood gushed out into the sky. Ah! Little Sakura screamed, and even Sasuke turned pale. This scene had such a huge impact on them that it was unbearable for a while. Even Kakashi was stunned for a moment, with a smile on his face. This kind of decisive killing is what a ninja should do. But Naruto, don't you have too much strength? You can cut this off. Well enough. The corner of Naruto's mouth twitched, and he threw the kunai in his hand into the small puddle in disgust, so he could use it as waste. He really didn't expect that his strength would be so great and his speed would be so fast. Killed the Ghost Brother directly, leaving them no time to react. Let's go, continue. After washing it, Naruto tilted his head and said a word. You didn't respond. No, I think it's fine. Facing Kakashi's strange inquiry, Naruto shrugged. He felt that he was really fine and didn't respond. Kakashi was silent. This is a born ninja. Looking at little Sakura and Sasuke. Sasuke is actually fine. Little Sakura is already throwing up with Dasna. This is the gap. But it doesn't mean that this kind of situation can't be developed, so he didn't say anything about Sakura. The vast majority of people come here like this, get familiar with them gradually, and gradually become indifferent. This world is so cruel. As a ninja, what needs to be faced is mountains of swords and seas of fire, and bloody winds, not the so-called hotbeds. If you want to be stable, then don't be a ninja, learn some ninjutsu to farm and work. It's not that there are no such people, on the contrary, there are many of them. Now it is considered a semi-peaceful age, there is not much fighting, this situation is allowed. Don't they have any questions? Dasna was puzzled. This is obviously different from the mission level, but Dasna did not ask this question foolishly, but silently followed behind them. Especially stay away from Uzumaki Naruto. Before seeing him smiling all day long, I thought he was an ordinary kid, but this kid gave him a vivid moment. That indifferent look immediately made them realize that even if he was harmless to humans and animals, he was still a ninja. Mr. Disowner, don't think too much. The little Sakura probably saw Dasna's doubts, leaned over and said in a low voice, Naruto has such a crow's mouth, be careful every time he speaks. Like this time, I guess there must be accidents, but most of them are Naruto's problems. Kakashi, Naruto, girl, are you too naive? Kakashi didn't think it was an accident caused by Naruto, and there was a high probability that the task itself had problems. It's just that he is not sure whether it is a small probability problem caused by Naruto. This cannot be ignored, but after thinking about it, with myself and Naruto around, probably nothing too bad will happen. Even accidents have a limit. Brother Gito is dead, his head was chopped off. Bai lowered his head and looked at Zabu, and his voice was neither urgent nor slow. From the news, it was cut off by kunai. What did you say? No longer straightened up, his expression became serious. Kunai cut it off. 1 knife and 2. What kind of power is that? About taijutsu ninja. Shiro took a breath. And I have already investigated the ninjas who came this time. They are Hatake Kakashi, Uzumaki Naruto, Uchiha Sasuke, and Haruno Sakura. From intelligence, Hatake Kakashi is bringing in newcomers. Tisk, it's really bold, you dare to come out to accept this task when you are bringing a newcomer. Don't he know that this is the person I'm not going to be targeting? Bai was silent, and then said, he probably really doesn't know, because Disowner lied when he released the mission. Ha ha ha, I was taken aback for a moment, and laughed randomly, that's really interesting. I wonder what kind of expression the third Hokage of Konoha village will have when Kakashi and these 3 little ghosts die in my hands. Elite Jonin, every death is a great loss to the village. And Kakashi led the team, so the identities of the 3 little ghosts in his team must be unusual. If this kills them all. Tut tut. A bloodthirsty light flashed in Zabuza's eyes. When will they come? At this rate, it will take more than half a month. Then just wait. Yes. Bai bowed his head, then hesitated and said, what should Kato say? Kato. Don't worry about it, he's just an ordinary person. You have successfully aroused Bai's curiosity, the critical strike is 10 times higher, and you have gained the ability of Ice Shield and Blood Succession. You have successfully aroused the curiosity of the ghost man Zabuza, the critical strike is 10 times, and the ability to obtain water body is strengthened. It seems that these two people have received the news. Naruto continued walking on the road, looking at the surrounding scenery, feeling very comfortable with the breeze blowing. He hasn't traveled too far in these years. Now when he walks out of the village, he feels that many places are very strange, with various customs and delicacies. Fortunately, in the past few years, he occasionally doubled his money from critical strikes, which gave him the funds to eat delicious food. It's a beautiful world out there. Little Sakura also had a smile on her face. It's just a little expensive. Sasuke looked calm. It is true that there are a lot of delicious food. As for money, he has a lot of it, and he can't use it all up. Kakashi shook his head. This is only the scope of Konoha village fire country, you guys think it's not bad, but some places are very chaotic. So, if you do tasks in the future, you should be more careful. For example, some hotels are black shops, and the hotel will also drug. Of course, the most common thing is to stuff notes, so it's best not to contact them. Why do you have to stuff the note? The little Sakura was curious, and Sasuke also looked at it strangely. We stayed in the hotel as long as we stayed in the hotel. Wouldn't it be fine for them to charge money? Naruto's eyelids twitched. Sure enough, this kind of situation often happens wherever I go. Single quote. I don't know if it's pretty or not. Naruto stroked his chin and thought, I'd really like to see it. Single quote. Boom. Kakashi hit him with a chestnut, and said speechlessly, try your head, only people like Master Jiraiya will try that thing, you better not mess with me. Naruto rubbed his head and smiled coquettishly, curiosity, pure curiosity. No curiosity at all. Kakashi growled sharply, if I find you, you will die. The three of Naruto were chilling. The Kakashi in front of me is so scary. There was a wretched smile on Dazna's face. It's okay, they will grow up after all, so they can live in it in the future, but the quality of these places is very good, so you don't have to worry. Kakashi. Gone. You fooled his owner, teach bad children. By the way, Kakashi-sensei, is Master Jiraiya one of the legendary Sannin? We should be role models for the things he likes. Hearing little Sakura's inquiry, Naruto and Kakashi staggered and almost fell. If you follow his example, then the men in the whole village will be very happy. What's your expression? Well, how should I put it, you will know when you grow up, you don't need to ask, you need to experience it yourself to understand. Naruto scratched his head, not knowing how to explain. Kakashi stood aside, frowning. It's really hard to bring a kid. Kakashi suddenly despaired. Chapter 31. That's the end of this topic. Kakashi regretted telling this matter. He never thought about the two curious babies among the three, and one was like the old driver. Also drunk. By the way, Naruto, how do you know that? Kakashi is curious. This is the question that has been in his heart since the very beginning. Naruto has never been out of the village, or stayed in a hotel, so how did he know? Oh, the old man of third generation often said this, and I heard it occasionally, and Konohamaru would also tell me that his grandpa often held some small notes. Puff. Kakashi vomits blood. Immediately in my mind, I started to fantasize about third generation holding a small note and contacting me with a wretched face, and then having girls. This cannot bear to look. Kakashi lifted his forehead, and the impression of third generation in his heart collapsed and reshaped directly. You are such a third generation. Naruto spread his hands. He really didn't lie. He was telling the truth, it's just that the language art has been processed by 1,000,000,000 points, which is not too much. The little Sakura and Sasuke stood aside silently, their little faces full of bewilderment. They couldn't understand Kakashi and Naruto's conversation at all. On the contrary, Dazna was quite interested. This is today's big melon. I didn't expect that Hokage in Konoha village would look like this, and I can talk about it with my friends in the future. Okay, let's not talk about this, let's stop here. Kakashi felt that he couldn't go on talking like this, and it would be a big bad if everything was revealed. Let's go, now live in this village for one night, and continue tomorrow. Okay, it happens to be here to eat something good. This place is a bit like the bamboo street in Naruto's impression. It is very bustling, with a lot of traffic, and there are rows of teppanyaki and other things. It looks very good. Nothing to say all night. The next day, Kakashi stretched his muscles, and Naruto came out with a yawn beside him, raised his hand and shook his face with a wretched expression. Kakashi was dumbfounded, because Naruto was holding a small note in his hand. Not long after, the little Sakura and Sasuke also came out, and the little Sakura said happily, "Mr. Kakashi, look, I also have a small note." Kakashi looked at Sasuke. Sasuke silently took out a note from his pocket. Kakashi, Naruto, look, as I said, the people here are very enthusiastic. Dasna smiled and winked at Naruto. Sasuke, you can come here often when you grow up, the water is fresh and the pink is tender. Gun, Kakashi growled, you have successfully aroused Hatake Kakashi's resentment, 10 times the critical strike, and gained a certain ability enhancement +1. Naruto tightened, feeling an inexplicable change, and was immediately overjoyed. This ability is liked by every man. Wakaka, you can still laugh. Kakashi was deeply speechless. Who are these people? Teacher, I heard from the third generation that you and my wife did not allow Naruto to contact Lord Jiraiya, but now he has no contact with him, and he is just an old wet machine level existence. It will be fine when he does. Teacher, there is nothing I can do. With a sad look on his face, Kakashi continued on the road with several people. Go to the land of waves as soon as possible, and then go back to the village. In the colorful world outside, he was afraid that Naruto and the others would not be able to withstand the temptation. This moment, Kakashi suddenly remembered that there were 3 little girls in Konoha village. Gone, Uzumaki Naruto, awesome. Touching his chin, Kakashi reached into his pocket, and there was a note in his pocket. Next time a person passes by, he can try it. He likes to watch the heaven of making out, so naturally he has needs. As for Might Guy, that was just an accident. His mind is normal. Just don't want to be tied down, it's that simple. A few people went round and round, passed through several villages, and finally came to the outskirts of the country of waves. Going in by boat here is the land of waves, so you have to be careful when you get here. Why? Facing the questions from several people, Dasna scratched his head irritably. It's not because Kaduo didn't let us build the bridge, so he sent a lot of dog legs to patrol around, and anyone who is not good will be arrested. I had no other choice, so I went to Konoha village to invite the ninja back. Etc. Kakashi frowned. We didn't say we would help you deal with these ordinary people. Our mission is to help you safely return to the land of waves. I know, you send me back and leave. As for my lovely grandson, my daughter and my old life have nothing to do with you. I will not curse you to go to hell after I die, you can rest assured. Quote. Naruto, Kakashi, Sasuke, little Sakura. Why does this man speak so badly? Little Sakura muttered, it's as if we killed him. Naruto on the side agreed deeply. That's not what it means. How do you decide? Kakashi handed over the decision to Naruto and the others. After all, he was the teacher who led the team. He would not make many decisions alone, but ask them. This is a time for a team, a whole, not individualism. Go, Sasuke's cold voice echoed. I came out just to practice. Do you go back now and continue to do some weird and useless tasks? No way. If he keeps procrastinating like this, when will he catch up with Naruto and when will he take revenge? Therefore, experience is inevitable. This time is an excellent opportunity. Needless to say, the little Sakura just followed Sasuke and basically had no thoughts of her own. Kakashi looked at Naruto, and Tatsuna looked over too. Naruto shrugged. Go ahead, I'd like to see what the sea crossing bridge looks like too. Then let's go. Kakashi scratched his head, feeling a little annoyed, but decided to check it out anyway. Yeah, Dasna smiled, and the goal was achieved. You have successfully aroused Dazna's complacent mood of succeeding in the scheme, the critical strike is 10 times higher, and you have gained 1,000-cup non-drunk physique. Naruto didn't care at all. This physique may be useful in the future, but it is still too early. How old is he? But, no more cuts, Shiro, Uzumaki Naruto, are here. Ah poof. Zabuza sneezed and touched his nose. Bye, have they arrived yet? It's almost here. Now that I'm on the boat, I believe it will soon be back in the land of waves. Very well, let's go then. No longer cut grinning grinningly, I can't wait to unscrew Dazna's head. Single quote. Brush. The figures of the two flashed and disappeared into this small room. This boat has a lot of personality. It is just that an ordinary ship is equipped with an engine, which can make this ship able to shuttle across the sea quickly. And because of the dense fog, no one could see them. Unless you get too close. Soon, Naruto and his party went ashore under the leadership of this villager. Here we are, this is the land of waves. It doesn't look any different than anywhere else. Several people looked around, and the houses were not bad, no different from other places. This house has been handed down from the past. Now because of Cardo, many businessmen can't come here, and they can't do business. They can only rely on self-sufficiency. Dazna sighed. Even the vegetable market doesn't have many vegetables, and it's very expensive. This is the current situation in the land of waves. So in order to change this situation, they want to build a cross-sea bridge, and basically all the money they collected is invested in this project. But there was an unforeseen event, and when the cross-sea bridge was half built, Kato came. The project was put on hold there. Come back this time. Dazna is going to build this bridge to attract merchants. He believed that all businessmen in this world would not be as greedy as Kato, and some merchants were so powerful that they would not be afraid of Kato at all. This is his purpose. That was really miserable. Living in Konoha village, Kakashi has never seen such a miserable place even if he went out to do missions. This is just a change brought about by an unscrupulous businessman. This is also the tragedy of a country without a ninja village. He believed that if there was a ninja village in the land of waves, Kato would not be so arrogant at all, because he could not become arrogant. If you dare to be arrogant, even if a few ninjas come to assassinate you, you won't be able to hide. This is the gap between ordinary people and ninjas. Take a rest first, and then go to my house. Dazna sat on the ground casually, took out the wine gourd and began to drink heavily. This is one of his few hobbies. Kakashi and the others had no choice but to sit on the floor. Naruto took out the reiki water and handed it to 4 parts, and said under the curious eyes of Kakashi and the others, "Drink it, this is a good product produced by my family." Kakashi and the others were suspicious. This thing looks like ordinary water. The 3 of Kakashi took a sip and their eyes widened. After drinking this water, there is a warm current in the body, as if the tiredness that has lasted for so long has dissipated. Kakashi even felt that the burden on him from Sharingan was much lighter. You have successfully aroused Hatake Kakashi's curiosity, the critical strike is 10 times, the Sharingan ability has been enhanced, friendship +1. You successfully aroused Uchiha Sasuke's curiosity, 5 times the critical strike, gained fire style, enhanced unkillable technique, friendship +1. You successfully aroused Haruno Sakura's curiosity, tripled the critical strike, gained chakra control ability +1, friendship +1. Naruto. Friendship. Sure enough, I expected. But little Sakura is amazing, she is so attached to Sasuke, eating my food is still a friendship, but she doesn't like it. Newbie. It is because of this persistence that little Sakura finally embraced the beautiful boy. Yuan toasted a small cup of Sakura, affirming her persistence. This water. Kakashi put down the water glass and asked in a low voice, "What is it?" The effect is immediate, too strong. If this water is told out, don't you know that someone will snatch your head? Once the news leaks, you will be miserable. Kakashi has never doubted the inferiority of people. Unless Naruto has absolute strength, such a good thing can't be kept. Even crazy researchers like Orochimaru will come to capture Naruto. For this amazingly effective water. Don't worry, I trust you. Kakashi. Little Sakura. Sasuke. Suddenly, I was a little moved in my heart. What happened? How much trust is it to give them to believe in you? For a while, Several people were silent, not knowing what to say at all. You successfully aroused Hatake Kakashi's emotion, the critical strike was tripled, and the water of aura was obtained. You successfully aroused Uchiha Sasuke's emotion, the critical strike was 5 times, and you got the aura green vegetables. You have successfully aroused Haruno Sakura's emotions, triple the critical strike, and double the money you get. Naruto smiled slightly. Sometimes a casual sentence can arouse other people's emotions, I realized. Like now, it's a good situation, isn't it? We won't tell. Looking down at the water glass in his hand, Sasuke looked determined. Little Sakura and Kakashi nodded. Really, in any case, they will not speak out. Whether we are a team or friends, the most important thing is that it is not good for them to speak out. What if you can't even drink it in the future? So no matter what, not speaking out is the most beneficial result for them. I trust you. Naruto took a sip of the water of aura, with a smile on his face. The water has basically no effect on him, but the taste is very good. It is said to be the water of spiritual energy, but the spiritual energy contained in it is pitifully small, and the effect is good in the first few days, and the effect will become worse and worse later on. Until systemic immunity. This is also impossible. So far, the Warcraft meat is very good, and the effect has been continuing. This thing is quite useful to me. Kakashi felt the relief all over his body and couldn't help but pull a smile on his face. He felt a lot lighter all over his body. Sharingan didn't suppress him so much, it was amazing. If you drink more. Kakashi looked at Naruto with fiery eyes. As long as there is a little more water, he doesn't need a lot of chakra to suppress it, and chakra is often exhausted when fighting with others. He is obviously very strong, but he always splits 50-50 with others. This is the eternal pain in his heart. Don't worry, it's enough. Naruto showed a big smile. This is what I made casually, it's not worth mentioning. Forehead. Several people looked at Naruto silently, their hearts began to twitch. For such a good effect, you told me that you made it casually, which is too exaggerated. You successfully aroused Kakashi, little Sakura, and Sasuke's speechless emotions, tripled the critical strike, gained Reikiri's power enhancement, aura of water, and 4 planets. Naruto. It seems that something strange has been mixed in. 4 planets. Looking at the bead in his hand, Naruto couldn't turn his head. Can I still summon the dragon here? Then wish me more wishes. What kind of bead is this? It's pretty. Little Sakura leaned over, her eyes sparkling, she couldn't resist the sparkling beads. Oh, it's just a kind of store-bought thing, and I also looked at it and bought it for collection. Naruto slipped it into the ninja bag. The small ninja bag bears its almost unbearable bulk. He is still very strange now, why things in other worlds appear. Could it be? Naruto suddenly came to his senses. The thing about Crit has never said that only things from the local world will appear, even if things from other worlds appear, it makes sense. That's pretty good. Bring more good things. Naruto showed a smile. It will become more and more interesting in the future. If there are a lot of things from other worlds, well, no. Naruto suddenly woke up. I have fallen into a blind spot. The meat of the monster, the water of spiritual energy, which one of these is something that this world has? Now it seems that these 3 are the inevitable products of novice critical strikes, because they all have fixed sources. But other things have only appeared once in these years. That is, the 4 planets that came out of the crit today. It can only be used as an ornamental item, and it doesn't have much effect. After all, it takes 7 Dragon Balls to summon the Shenlong. This probability is too low. Just think about it when you are dreaming. In reality, where is such a great opportunity to get together? Kakashi, who was staring at the water of spiritual energy in a daze, suddenly frowned, and looked at the grass not far away. Naruto's expression was even more concentrated, this movement. Single quote. Brush. Subconsciously, he took out a handful of kunai from the ninja tool bag, and threw it out while spinning. Kunai throwing technique's full-level skill is not for bragging, it hits the target instantly. Sasuke and little Sakura subconsciously stood in front of Dasna. What's wrong? There is a situation. Is it a snow rabbit? Kakashi walked over to take a look, and saw a snow rabbit lying in a pool of blood, dead and dying. And Naruto's kunai throwing technique is worthy of the pinnacle, which can hit the head. Snow rabbit, a product of the land of snow. There is no such animal in the land of waves where the winter is warm and the summer is cool, so. Naruto came over and exchanged glances with Kakashi. Both of them saw what the other meant. There are enemies. He. As expected of Hatake Kakashi, you were really sharp. I don't know when it started. The fog was rising and becoming thicker, gradually making it difficult to see clearly. A deep voice echoed around. But now, how do you break the situation? Zabuza appeared not far away, his figure looming. Beheading with a big sword, the ghost will not be beheaded again. With his excellent vision, Kakashi fixed on the big sword behind Zabuza at a glance. His expression gradually became serious, and he softly shouted, Sasuke, Naruto, little Sakura, protect Datsuna. Clear, Sasuke and little Sakura had already protected Datsuna behind them. Judging by Kakashi's tone, this newcomer is a formidable enemy. At this time, Naruto suddenly asked, I heard that there is a ninja named Shiro beside you. Has he followed? Don't be stunned for a moment. You have successfully aroused the curiosity of the ghost man Zabuza. The critical strike is tripled, and the technique of water body has been strengthened. How do you know Bai? It was this kid who precisely hit his snow rabbit just now. His eyes and skills were different from those of ordinary little ghosts, which instantly reminded him of Bai. Bai is also so powerful, showing amazing ninja talent at a very young age. Sometimes if he doesn't kill him, he just thinks, if Bai's heart is a little more serious, maybe the current him can't beat this evil Bai. But now, from just a few moments ago, he could see that the blonde-haired child in front of him was very extraordinary. What's even more strange is that this person even knows about Bai. Well, I checked. TCH, that's really an honor. Kakashi stood aside silently. Here we go again. This strange feeling is the same as the last time I robbed the bell. You have investigated a lot of strange places. You have even investigated the enemy in front of you, which is awesome. Sure, I'm curious after all. What are you curious about? No longer showing any emotion, he silently stared at Kakashi. The one who can threaten him here is Kakashi, and he is waiting for Kakashi to show his weakness. As for talking to Naruto, it's just a means of paralysis, not unusual. As by male or female. If you don't cut it for a moment, it will be messy in an instant. What kind of fairy question are you talking about? He had expected Naruto to ask some other questions. For example, Bai's origin, strength, etc., but I never thought that Naruto would ask this question. Male-female. Good chance. Kakashi was also taken aback for a moment, then his eyes flashed, the opportunity came. Brush. Kakashi rushed up directly, and the kunai in his hand stabbed out instantly. Puff. The water splashed in all directions, and the body that was no longer chopped was shattered, turned into water and fell to the ground. It was the body of water. How insidious, Kakashi. HMPH, aren't you also waiting for me to show my flaws? Indeed, you have a good student who can disturb me for a moment. Zabuza looked at Naruto with a serious face. You have successfully aroused the mood of the ghost man not to be cut seriously, and the critical strike is 10 times, and you will get a piece of fine iron with the beheading sword. This stuff is nice. Refined iron that can be repaired. Let Tien forge a ninja knife when he goes back. But, Naruto was speechless. I'm really curious. Naruto argues. So, is it a man or a woman? Gun. I'm going to kill you. The fog became thicker, and even a single figure could not be seen clearly in a blink of an eye. Heart, head, hands, bark, liver, which one do you choose? Single quote. The demonic voice spread around, giving them infinite pressure. Naruto, you go and protect Darzuna. Why should I guard? While Kakashi was stunned, Naruto whispered, since you won't tell me, then I'll check it myself. HMPH, then I'll kill you first, what the hell? Just as Buzan wanted to kill Naruto first, he felt a chill all over his body. It was the feeling of being locked and approaching danger. What's going on? Why do you feel this way? Well, even if you have experienced this feeling, it is still so strange. That's right, it's the ability to roll eyes. Naruto's face doesn't look hideous. As long as he wants to activate the ability of rolling eyes, he can open it naturally, which is very convenient and casual. The white eyes are opened, and there is almost nothing to hide in front of him. Just to test my abilities. Naruto took out the kunai, grasped the cold kunai, stepped out with one step, and unfolded the body flicker technique, and his whole body appeared in front of Zabuza almost instantly. Without a shake, he stabbed directly. No matter how fast he reacted, even if he didn't know what was going on, he still blocked it immediately. Clang! If he didn't cut off the huge shock all over his body, the whole person flew upside down. Hey, why is it so powerful? No more shaking in his heart, not daring to be negligent, his figure flashed and disappeared into the thick fog. What happened? Why does that feeling like a thorn in the back still follow me everywhere? Don't cut your face and change. He found that no matter how he moved in the dense fog, he felt like he was locked in. But how is this possible? You have successfully aroused the suspicion in the ghost Zabuza's heart. The critical strike is 50 times, and you have obtained water style, water dragon bomb technique. Here, the movement speed is still very fast. Naruto rushed up again with the body flicker technique, turned his hand, a Rasengan appeared in his hand, and pressed it on Zabuza's body. Boom! The violent explosion frightened Kakashi and the others. When Kakashi came to the place where the explosion occurred, he found that there was only a puddle of water. Naruto stood aside quietly. Kakashi looked at Naruto with a complicated expression. The shock in his heart can be imagined. He had tried his best to overestimate Naruto's strength, but in the end he realized that he had far underestimated Naruto's strength. With some strange abilities such as the body flicker technique, he can be said to be at their level, and he may even be beaten to death by Naruto if he is not careful. This is too fantasy. Back then, he was 12-year-old Jonin, and he was still very proud at that time. It didn't take long for Uchiha Itachi to appear, and then Uzumaki Naruto. This life, let me make it better. You successfully aroused Hatake Kakashi's unhappy emotions. The critical strike was 7 times, and you got Chidori. It doesn't matter if it's a mouse, it escapes very quickly. Naruto muttered. Raising his hand slightly, a Rasengan appeared in his hand, and he threw it away. Wang! Rasengan broke through the air, and suddenly disappeared from Zabuza's sight in the blink of an eye. Well, gone. He was stunned for a moment, and before he could react, a ball hit him directly in the waist with a bang. Ah! No longer screaming, the whole person was driven by Rasengan to fly out, directly hit the big tree beside him, and then hit the ground heavily, spurting out a mouthful of blood. At this moment, he was still in a daze. What happened just now? Rasengan is famous, but I have never heard of such a change. You have successfully aroused the ghost's incomprehensible emotions, 8 times the critical strike, and obtained water style, a waterspout. Ahem, cough, what a brat, you won. No more coughing up blood. He could only smile wryly when he saw Naruto walking over. It never occurred to him that he lost to a Konoha village child without any power to fight back. Are all the kids nowadays so powerful? I wonder if Bai is his opponent. With this elusive speed and those eyes that see through everything, no one can beat him unless he is head to head. I said it all, I just asked a question. Naruto shrugged and said helplessly, why don't you believe it? It's all over now. You won't be honest unless you're beaten to the ground. No more stunned. Looking at Naruto who had already won, he suddenly believed that Naruto was really curious. I rely on. Thinking of being brutalized because he refused to answer, his blood surged up even if he didn't cut him off, and another mouthful of blood spurted out. You have successfully aroused the grief and anger of the ghost man Zabuza. The critical strike has been multiplied by 1,000 times, and the sage body quality +1 has been obtained. Naruto, would it be so sad and indignant that he would directly strike 1,000 times critically? You won't be pissed off, will you? Suddenly, Naruto turned his head, just in time to see a person with a cat face mask appearing not far away. Yo, bye, white. Seeing Naruto who greeted him, Shiro looked confused. What's the matter with you looking so familiar to me, do we know each other? Looking at Naruto's position again, Bai's expression darkened. This person completely blocked the position of his shot, making it impossible for him to rescue Mr. Zabuza. In front of Naruto, he seemed to be seen through, with nowhere to hide. That's how it felt to Mr. Zabuza just now. Bai clenched Shinbin in his hand, with a complicated expression on his face. It seems that today is not good enough. You successfully made Bai feel powerless, tripled the critical strike, and obtained the magic shield ice crystal. Hey, now can I see what the hell you are? Naruto looked at Shiro with a smile on the corner of his mouth. White silence. He took off his mask silently, revealing a delicate face. Good guy. Tisk. Kakashi came over and looked at Shiro in surprise. The white in front of him really has that kind of delicate feeling, which will give people an illusion that if he wears men's clothes, he is an out-and-out man. But if he changed into women's clothes, he would be more feminine than a woman. This unique face and temperament. Kakashi looked strange. It is indeed a question that Naruto wants to clarify. Now even he wants to know if this person is a man or a woman. As you can see, I'm a man. I'm satisfied now. Click it. Naruto froze, feeling like something was breaking inside him. I am such a beautiful little sister, you tell me that you are a man. Ah, dream, broken. Forget it, destroy it. Quote. A few people were speechless, and Kakashi even grabbed Naruto and said with a wry smile, is that how you are? Well, I will leave the rest to you, Mr. Kakashi, and I will not participate. Naruto waved his hand, he still can't take it anymore. What a pity. Little Sakura, Sasuke, and Dasna had weird eyes, and little Sakura cursed secretly, you little pervert. Yes, now in their eyes, Naruto is a complete small color batch. What are you going to do with me, Kakashi? No longer leaning against the tree trunk, he doesn't even have the strength to fight back now, and it is foreseeable that Shiro will not be Kakashi's opponent. What's more, there is a Uzumaki Naruto who can't see the depth on the side. Judging from the battle situation just now, Naruto didn't use any powerful ninjutsu, the strongest is the invisible ball. But the weird thing is that Naruto can see through his movements in the thick fog. This is the ambiguity of not losing any more. Other things like speed and strength are indeed powerful, but they are not enough to defeat him. But there are no ifs in the battle, and if you lose, you lose. Kakashi pondered, then asked, why are you making trouble with Dasna? Of course it's that person's money, helping them eliminate disasters. Kato is our employer, Zabuza said indifferently, so, each is his own master. I still admire Dasna very much. I dared to build a bridge in front of Ninja and Kato's noses, and built more than half of it. Are you short of money? Naruto leaned over and watched curiously. It can be seen from the original book that Zabuza seems to have been dealing with these wealthy businessmen all the time in order to make money. But in fact, Kurigakure has given up chasing and killing him no matter how powerful he is. That is to say, the living environment of Zabuza is relatively safer, and you can live comfortably in any place. Of course, the premise is not to join other ninja villages. This is an enemy. If you dare to join other big ninja villages, the people of Kurigakure will definitely hunt down and kill them to the ends of the earth. HMPH, it seems that flowers in the greenhouse like you will not understand my lofty dreams. Buzan snorted again. Losing to a 12 or 13-year-old kid is an eternal pain in his heart. He doesn't want to talk to Naruto. Mr. Zabuza wants to create an ideal country of his own. Bai Wen said softly, we are working hard for this goal. He could see that Hatake Kakashi and the others had no intention of killing them, they were just purely curious. But as far as I know, the title of Kurigakure's capital of Blood Mist has been abolished by that woman, returning to the normal ninja village situation, and calling many Kurigakure ninjas who went out to go back, won't you go back? Not going back. I was taken aback for another moment, and then said in a deep voice, there is nothing to go back to. That woman's world belongs there. I believe Kurigakure will be better with her in it. I don't understand your thinking. It seems that a ninja named Hoshigaki Kisame thought the same way, and he didn't go back in the end. So much so that even though Terumi tried his best in Kurigakure, Chojuro took over in the end and still didn't restore the decadence. But because of the geographical location, no one paid her attention. And Terumi is not weak. I don't understand you, but since you are doing this kind of thing, then I can also hire you. Certainly. If you don't cut your eyes, does this mean that I don't have to die? You have successfully aroused the gratitude of the ghost man Zabuza, the critical strike is 10 times, and the perfect sage mode fragment +1 is obtained. Naruto. It's this deceitful fragment again, it makes me upset just looking at it. Ignoring the fragment directly, Naruto scratched his head in embarrassment. I don't have any money, can I get credit? I rely on. Zabuza and the others stared at Naruto in astonishment. You are so embarrassed to speak up. If you don't have money, you can say nothing. So what do you need to hire and kill again? Kakashi looked strange. Aren't you with us all the time? Well, it seems that there is nothing wrong. Poor. They were all overwhelmed when they heard Naruto's words. But being interrupted by Naruto, Kakashi didn't bother to care about it anymore, waved his hand and said indifferently, "You know the rules." "I know. Don't cut your head again. If you lose the battle, I will definitely not accept any tasks related to you in the future. I still have that reputation." "Then, leave it at that." Kakashi turned to look at Dasna. "Okay, the most difficult one has been solved, and you can build the bridge as soon as possible in the future, and the task is considered complete." "Dasna, this is not the result I want. The big devil Kaduo is still there. What should I do?" To be honest, I was a little panicked. "Hello, Uzumaki Naruto." Suddenly Naruto was called to stop at this time. Naruto turned his head to look, and then said in a deep voice, "If you want, I can do one thing for you for free. Think of it as a reward for letting his life go. It's impossible to go up the mountain of swords and down the pan of oil, but within the scope of my ability, I will definitely do it." "That's a good feeling." Naruto rubbed his hands together. "How about being my bodyguard? No more chopping white Kakashi at all." "What do you mean? You are so strong and still need bodyguards." "Being strong is my business, but I'm too lazy to move. It's also a good choice to have a bodyguard to help with things." Naruto rubbed his chin and smiled. "Besides, it doesn't count that you join me in Konoha village, I just need you to protect me for 3 years. You really don't have to worry about money, I have a solution." "How about it?" "No, I won't break my promise if I promise you one thing. If you don't need the money, 3 years will be 3 years." Zabuza snorted coldly. "When you leave and go back, I will come to you and protect you for 3 years. It's a deal. I will never kill and never lie." "Then it's settled." Naruto smiled and waved goodbye to Shiro. "Ah, very good. 2 Tool people are online. After all, they are also Hokage celebrities, and they are very strong. They must work hard to lick the wool. 3 years is enough for him to lick the wool. As for 3 years later, isn't there still 3 years left? Let's talk about it then." He had discovered a problem a long time ago. The things that were critically hit on these famous and powerful people would be particularly good. So Zabuza and Bai, 2 popular ninjas, he was reluctant to kill. "You really are a stable group." After walking on the road for a long time, Kakashi just choked out a word. "I am so strong, I still need to find someone to protect, and I still don't kill him. What is this? Besides, there is no danger in the village." "Who knows?" Naruto shrugged. "What if the village is also dangerous?" "Shut up." Kakashi couldn't bear it any longer, and let out a loud shout. "You crow mouth again." You successfully aroused the anger of Hatake Kakashi. The critical strike was 10 times, and you got the full set of Supreme Edition of Intimate Paradise. "Naruto, this stuff is expensive." Kakashi, Sasuke and the others are devastated. "Idiot Naruto, is there really danger in the village? This should be very unlikely. Although Naruto has a crow's mouth, there should be a limit to the crow's mouth. How can there be problems in such a big village? This is absolutely impossible." Naruto shrugged, indicating that I was just speaking casually. Dasna on the side was thoughtful. Walking along this way, Naruto's mouth seemed to have opened, and he couldn't help smiling and said, "Don't you ninjas have water style, fire style? Does Naruto count?" "Mouth." Kakashi and the others immediately looked over. "Good image. That's right, it's the mouth. But Naruto's mouth is a bit strange. Good spirits don't work bad spirits. Naruto usually says some auspicious words, but they just don't come true. However, once this guy said bad things, he basically realized all of them. Mizuki in the early days is now jokingly called the old king next door. Now Zabuza and Bai. Then he just said that Konoha village is also in danger. I'm a dangerous dick." Kakashi's face was pale. "If there is any danger in this Konoha village, it is not a joke, maybe it will be a big event." "Impossible, absolutely impossible." Kakashi shook his head. "You successfully aroused the panic in Hatake Kakashi's heart, 9 times the critical strike, and got chakra +1. Naruto grinned. "Arrive." Dasna suddenly stamped his feet, pointed to the front and said, "That's my house. There are only 2 people in my house. A daughter, a grandson. It's okay, just be pretty. Naruto waved his hand carelessly. I don't care. Single quote. Dasna remained expressionless. You don't care, I do. Where did you learn this at such a young age? Dasna couldn't help looking at Kakashi. Kakashi shrugged, he didn't know either. Naruto's behavior in the village was normal according to what third generation said before, but after getting along with him for a long time, I realized that Naruto sometimes said things like a little devil, and occasionally he would kill people for life. You successfully aroused Dasna's inner worry, the critical strike was 5 times, and you got some silver tails. You have successfully aroused the speechless emotions of Hatake Kakashi, Uchiha Sasuke, and Haruno Sakura. The critical strike is 10 times, and you get chakra +1, speed +1, and water of aura. Naruto smiled lightly. Good. Now the probability of this attribute being exposed is quite high. If this continues, he will not even need ninjutsu in the future. He can raise his fist and say, this punches my skill for more than 10 years. Can you stop it? Single quote. Yes, it's that arrogant. Come on, I'm going to build a bridge when I get home. There was a smile on Dasna's face. Thanks to you, I have the opportunity to build that bridge, and then I will call him Naruto Bridge. Naruto suggested from the side. I think it sounds very nice. Gone. Several people's faces darkened, and Dasna was even more speechless. This person is really shameless. But thinking that Naruto contributed the most on this journey, and it is true that they have helped to get this opportunity, Dasna couldn't help but nodded. The name seems to be good. It's just a name, nothing more. Naruto was delighted to hear this, and thought silently in his heart. If someone passes this bridge in the future, will he feel emotional after hearing the illusion of this bridge, and if his mood fluctuates greatly, he will contribute a critical blow to him. This is persistent. It seems that I have to change my strategy sometimes. Naruto was taken aback suddenly. He didn't want to make a move before, but should he make a move this time with Konoha's collapse plan? Under the eyes of everyone, he burst out with great strength, saved Konoha village, and suppressed all enemies in one fell swoop. Isn't this a feat? So how big are those people's mood swings? This is a big wave of crit attacks. At that time, his own strength will definitely soar. Hiss. What a genius idea. No, some people can't be saved, wait until they are almost dead. Naruto calculated silently, thinking coldly in his heart. He has seen it all these years. Some people are really too much, and some people Naruto is afraid to go shopping, but he will still sell it to him. But some people have no grievances or enmities with him, but they insist on finding a sense of existence by themselves, making them appear to have a sense of superiority. What is this kind of person doing to save him? Are you against yourself? Therefore, you have to watch the timing. What's on your mind? Kakashi leaned on the railing, watching the rough sea and the sea breeze blowing, which has a special flavor. I'm thinking of going back to play with Hinata and the others. Kakashi, I can't talk today. You successfully aroused Kakashi's speechless emotions, tripled the critical strike, and obtained the exclusive version of Intimate Paradise. Naruto touched his nose. It's this again, but a little differently. This thing seems to be reusable. Naruto planned in his mind, intending to surprise Kakashi one day, and then let him contribute another wave of critical strikes. The abacus in his heart was crackling, but his face was calm, and he said with a smile, we will go back soon, right? Yeah, I really want to go back. Let's go after this Naruto bridge is built. I'm going to train Sasuke and little Sakura now. Do you want to go? Kakashi gnashed his teeth at the words Naruto bridge. Never seen such a brazen person. How dare you use your own name to name it? It's really shameless and envious. Go, of course. Naruto's eyes lit up. I want to see it too. Then let's go. Kakashi waved, and Sasuke and little Sakura hurriedly followed. They also don't want to hold back. Especially Sasuke, who thought there was not much difference between him and Naruto, but looking at it now, it is simply too big, which is a great blow to his self-esteem. He didn't want to be doing nothing. In the grove, Kakashi pointed to the trunk in front of him and said, today I will ask you to climb the tree. Well, it's a nice place, grove, a nice place to do business. What's up? Little Sakura asked subconsciously. Pound. Kakashi hit a chestnut. Naruto looked resentful. Mr. Kakashi, are you thinking wrong? What did I say to me? Kakashi's face froze. You are really strong in the ability to fight back. You successfully aroused Hatake Kakashi's depressed mood, tripled the critical strike, and gained the power of the detonating charm +1. Sasuke stood aside silently. Just read if you don't understand, don't ask. If you ask what Naruto said, you will have bad business, or you will be forcibly interrupted by Mr. Kakashi. Sometimes Sasuke wonders if this is why the two of them are so powerful. Go back and look up the classics. Sasuke silently calculated in his heart, and made up his mind that he must investigate after going back to see what was going on. Climbing a tree is to attach chakra to the bottom of your feet, and then climb up step by step. This looks very simple, but it is actually very difficult. It requires precise control of chakra, but just practice a lot at your level. I believe you will be able to master it soon. Naruto is very calm. He has played with this thing a long time ago, and now he crawls casually. Little Sakura and Sasuke looked at each other, came to the bottom of a tree at the same time, and began to walk up step by step according to Kakashi's teaching. Boom! On one side, Sasuke fell straight down, baring his teeth. Hey, it's quite simple. The little Sakura walked to a very high place easily, and sat on the tree trunk dangling her calves with a proud face. Sasuke's face darkened. Kakashi was also surprised. I didn't expect little Sakura to have such a strong control over chakra. Naruto, do you want to try? I don't mind. I can tread water. Climbing trees is easier. Sasuke, come on. As he said that, he patted Sasuke's shoulder cheaply to stimulate him. Sasuke gritted his teeth. Let's just say Naruto can't compare, but now he can't even compare with little Sakura. Isn't it just climbing a tree? I will definitely learn it. Glaring at the big tree in front of him bitterly, Sasuke started training alone without saying a word. Looks like you hit Sasuke hard. It's little Sakura, don't talk about me. Little Sakura, you have successfully aroused little Sakura's unpleasant emotions, triple the critical strike, and gain the power of kunai throwing +1. Naruto was thoughtful. It didn't appeal to him. By the way, you can give it to the rich woman Tiantian. In addition to being beautiful, Tiantian is also a super rich woman, and when fighting, she is full of misery. If she is given more of this ability, wouldn't she want to take off? And that detonator, Naruto remembers that many people like to hang detonating charms on the kunai. If the two are combined, wouldn't they become a means of daily survival? At that time, even if there is no blood inheritance boundary, you can still fight top ninjas. There is also Ino, which also needs to be equipped with some powerful abilities. For Hinata, the power of Tensegan is not bad. He doesn't want the gap between them to grow wider as his strength improves. This is not a good thing. Let's go back first. It would be better for Sasuke to train here alone. Knowing that Sasuke has strong self-esteem, the few people didn't look here, and turned and left directly. Now it seems that I will stay here for a few days. It's okay, just to see the scenery. Kakashi nodded, then looked at Naruto, and said helplessly, I can't hide your strength when you go back this time. Before, Naruto behaved fairly normally, but the performance this time came out was too outrageous, completely inconsistent with the performance in the village. The third generation will definitely suspect something, and asking is a normal operation. I didn't intend to hide it either, I'm just a bit of a monster, nothing. Depend on. Kakashi's face darkened. What do you want me to say? You have successfully aroused Hatake Kakashi's unhappy mood, the critical strike is 8 times higher, and he has obtained the distraction technique. What's this? With a thought, Naruto looked at the light ball carefully, and soon understood the ability of this thing. This is a magical ability that can be used for 2 purposes or even 3 purposes and 4 purposes. Can't this be used in conjunction with Ino's ability? Naruto was stunned for a moment, feeling that what he wanted had come true. Just now he was thinking about how to improve Ino's strength, so this thing came, let them go back and try it. In short, none of those people can worry. I know. Naruto smiled. How can he be a simple person who can be an old Hokage? Naruto firmly believes in this. In fact, Kakashi is also very helpless. Would such a powerful person commit suicide because of the mission? It's weird no matter how you think about it, but he has no proof. The death of Hatake Tsukumo and the legendary Sanin's departure have already explained a point. It's just that many people don't want to believe it, and they can only paralyze themselves. Let's see when Sasuke can climb the treetops by himself. It should be soon. Kakashi turned his head and looked over, just in time to see Sasuke fall down again, and nodded at this. It's not difficult for him. If Uchiha does not wipe out the clan, he will be stronger at this moment. This is the benefit of inheritance. Hateful. Kato looked at the bridge and continued to make his liver hurt. But those ninjas are still there, and his own ninja fired him and stopped helping him. What can he do? Give up here. Anyway, there is no oil and water here now, go to another place. After a long time, Kato took a deep look at Dasna, who was directing the construction of the bridge, snorted coldly, and walked away on crutches. The world is so big, and there is more than one place like this. When the time is right, he will make a comeback. As time goes by, about half a month or so, this sea crossing bridge was finally completed, and was affectionately named Naruto Bridge by Dasna and the others. Ha ha ha, everyone will remember my name in the future. Naruto put his hands on his hips, extremely arrogant. Kakashi and others on the side supported their foreheads, but they also lost their temper. This is what Naruto said is right. The construction of a bridge is always a bit of a legend, and Naruto's name echoes it even more. In the future, Naruto's name will become a legend. Kakashi is convinced of this. To be honest, he was envious. You successfully aroused the envy of Hatake Kakashi, the critical strike was 10 times, and you got the aura green vegetables. Naruto smiled and looked at the bridge in front of him. It's time to come back. After a few months, Konoha village, Uzumaki Naruto, are back again. Gone back. Kakashi watched as Namonokuni gradually moved away from his sight, and sighed. There were really many unexpected things when he came out to do the mission this time, which was more surprising than many missions he had done before. Especially Uzumaki Naruto, who brought him so many surprises that he didn't know what to say. No wonder Might Guy can't forget about you. If I were a master of physical arts, I would never forget about you. Kakashi thought of Might Guy again. Going back this time, it is estimated that he will pester Uzumaki Naruto again. It is very interesting to think about that scene. Yeah, I'm back. Let's go. Sasuke and the others looked back, this time without Dasna's hindrance. They displayed the fastest speed, running and jumping on the road, with chakra attached to their feet, and they were able to travel quickly while training. No wonder you don't need carriages, cars, and bicycles. At this speed, you still need these. Almost less than half the time, Konoha village is just around the corner. At this speed, bicycles are simply incomparable. No more beheading followed closely behind. I have never been to Konoha village, but this time I can enjoy it in Konoha village. Is the village built by the first generation ninja god different? I am also very curious. Bai Wen smiled. But for any ninja, this period will not fail to have a strong interest in Konoha village. Because this is the system established by the god of the ninja world, Konoha village was established by him and Uchiha Madara. It's a legend. People are always curious about legends and want to find out. Actually, it's the same, there is no difference. Naruto said lightly. The current Konoha village is no longer comparable to before. 2. A sneer appeared on Zabuza's face. Sannin has left, the strong are basically gone, and there are only a few cats and dogs left. Kakashi, Sasuke, little Sakura. Hello, it's a bit inappropriate for you to say this in front of us, right? Am I wrong? Don't raise your eyebrows again. I'm not from your village, I'm just hired by people from your village. We are in an employment relationship and have nothing to do with Konoha village. Single quote. Well, Konoha village is still very strong. Although the new generation has not yet grown up, don't we still have us as the mainstay? Kakashi thought to himself, but he won't say it. Might Guy, myself, and Hong Yuhi are not bad in strength, and third generation, who looks old but is also powerful. Konoha village at this time is not weak. It just certainly doesn't look as strong as it used to. Besides, there is a little monster here. Kakashi glanced at Naruto. You successfully aroused Hatake Kakashi's gentle emotions, triple the critical strike, and gained the power of the detonating talisman +1. Naruto said nothing. From a bystander's Kakuzu, in fact, the strength of Konoha village in the early stage is really a mess. But the death of Hatake Tsukumo, the departure of Sannin, the fall of Uchiha, the death of the fourth generation and the death of Jinchuriki Whirlpool Kushina, no one who watched this wave of changes could not help but mutter. What the hell happened to this Konoha village? Sometimes Naruto doesn't want to speculate on others with malicious thoughts, but that's really not a reason for your Konoha village to be weak. The biggest root is definitely up there. That is, third generation and Danzo. It is said that Danzo is behind the blame, which Naruto deeply agrees with. The third generation can deprive Danzo of his rights with a single sentence, so why can Danzo do so many things secretly by himself? Therefore, the pot of third generation is bigger. It's just that he is Hokage, and he wants a positive image. Naruto shook his head. He didn't think about it anymore. He felt irritable when he thought about it too much. My cheap parents must have left a lot of inheritance, but in the end, I gave some living expenses every month. This life. Isn't this just bullying me for not knowing these things? Looking at Uchiha Sasuke, because of Itachi's existence and someone's backing, Sasuke's quality of life is much better than his. At least money has not been completely swallowed up. This is the gap. Arrive. Call. Several people paused, and the gate of the village was in sight. This Uzumaki Naruto is giving me trouble again. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the information in his hands, his eyes were dark, and he handed the information to Danzo who was beside him speechlessly. Won't the ghost be killed again? Bye. Danzo frowned. It's an employment relationship, it's not a problem, and it's only been 3 years. I believe that people in Kurigakure won't hold on to this matter. What I'm curious about now is why Naruto is so powerful. This has exceeded our expectations. Sarutobi Hiruzen folded his hands, swallowed, and was puzzled in his heart. It is true to say that the system of the Uzumaki family is inherently huge in chakra, so I am not surprised if it is the strength of ninjutsu. And Might Guy also said that Naruto has a special physique, and he is a good seed for practicing physical skills. But the most important point is that Naruto didn't learn gymnastics from Might Guy at all, and there is no record of his training. Then here comes the problem. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo looked at each other, and both saw suspicion in each other's eyes. Naruto's strength is not normal. Could it be the awakening of some special blood inheritance boundary? It should be impossible. Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head. The conditions for the formation of the blood succession boundary are not so easy, and if Naruto really awakens, he will hide it too well. You'll know what's going on when he comes back and ask, won't you? Do you think a child who has lived in the village since he was a child will be able to conceal our inquiries? Hearing Danzo's words, Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled slightly. 2. Just a simple child, they have eaten more salt than he has walked. Just come back and ask directly. Thinking too much will only increase your troubles. I believe they should be approaching the village by now. Tomorrow at most. You have successfully aroused Danzo's malicious emotions, the critical hit is 10 times, and the resistance to beating is +1. You have successfully aroused the curiosity of Sarutobi Hiruzen, the critical strike is 8 times, and you get the monster meat. Naruto's eyes dimmed as he stepped into the village. Ah, Konoha village, I'm back. Naruto opened his arms. Unknowingly, he walked out of the village and experienced some people and things. Let's go, I'll deliver the task first, you guys go back first. My house is very small, you can live next to me now. Naruto greeted Zabuza and White hits. Don't chop again. White, you have successfully aroused the ghost's emotion of being speechless again, the critical strike is tripled, and the resistance to beating is +1. You successfully aroused Bai Wuyu's emotions, 5 times the critical strike, and obtained a water-avoiding bead. Avoid water beads. Naruto was amazed, and looked intently. The word was just like its name. This is a bead that he can use to clear water in his hand. It is something similar to a magic weapon. Is it because of my strength or something else? Is the chance of things from other worlds appearing so high now? Avoid water drops. This is simply a nightmare for water attribute ninjas. With it on, all water ninjutsu will have no effect on him. If there are fire-dispelling orbs in the future, wouldn't I be born invincible? All right, just think about it. If you really want to collect them all, then wash and sleep. The year of the monkey and the month of the horse may not necessarily be able to break out. That's it, see you tomorrow. Well, this is rent money. Naruto took out his wallet, took out some money and handed it over. With a very generous look, Here, spend it slowly. I spend a chicken. Looking at the money in his hand, he wished he could strangle Naruto to death. When he was on the road, he didn't think about this problem at all, but when the incident came to an end, he suddenly discovered that the fierce man who defeated him was also short of money. And poorer than him. Look at the place where he lives, and look at the appearance that makes his heart hurt, and he will be stunned if he doesn't cut it. How is this possible? Such a genius, shouldn't the village support him and keep the talent? How is this going? Zabuza looked at Kakashi with probing eyes. Kakashi shrugged. What he says about Konoha village doesn't matter, what they say about third generation matters. And no one would have thought that Naruto would be so powerful, right? However, since the establishment of the village system, Jinchuriki are basically poor, just get used to it. Let's go, see you tomorrow. Kakashi waved and walked towards Hokage's office. Bujin and Bai looked at each other again, and had no choice but to rent a house next to Naruto, which required some procedures, but it was not a big problem. Naruto even went home directly, lying on the bed and not wanting to move. Gold-silver nest is their own kennel. Now he is deeply aware of this. I have been walking outside for so long, stayed in hotels, and slept outside, but when I got home, I still felt that my bed was the most comfortable. At this time, Hinata and the others should be in the village, right? After lying comfortably for a while, Naruto couldn't sit still anymore, got up and left the room. After going around and coming to the door of Hyuga's house, he hesitated. Uzumaki Naruto. With a cold snort, Hyuga Hiyashi looked badly. Ha, Uncle Hiyashi, is Hinata at home? It's so kind. Tisk. Hyuga Hiyashi shook his head. It's training, do you want to go in and sit down? May I? Can. Hyuga Hiyashi nodded. He has no ill feeling towards Uzumaki Naruto. On the contrary, because of Naruto's existence, Hinata has become a little cheerful these years. With Hinata's character, it's rare to have a friend or two. Moreover, Naruto's strength is good, and his talent is evil, how could such a friend Hyuga Hiyashi refuse? Well, if they can come together in the future, there will be no problem. Hyuga Hiyashi was leading the way, thinking about the possibility of this in his mind. The Hinata account is considered useless, and other places are very good, but he does not have the courage to be a patriarch. In comparison, Hyuga Hanabi's talent in this area now surprises him. So, Hinata, he can't be bothered. It would be nice if we could get together with Naruto. You have aroused Hyuga Hiyashi's inexplicable emotions, the critical strike has been multiplied, and the power of 8 trigrams air palm has been strengthened. Hiss. Ignoring the critical strike, Naruto looked around. This was the first time he really entered Hyuga's house, and it was really big, and he came to the place where the main family was after he turned around. Uzumaki Naruto. Hyuga Neji and Hinata are training. Seeing Naruto Neji looking directly over, his eyes moved. He still remembers the 8 inner gates second gate that Naruto said last time, so he will lock up such a monster valued by the teacher more naturally. Naruto. Hinata even let out a cry of surprise, but immediately thought of where this place was, and her father was still nearby, so she couldn't help covering her mouth subconsciously, her face blushing. At this moment she wished she could get into the hole. Is it too surprising to call yourself? Hey, Hinata, long time no see, you look refreshed. The same to you. Hyuga Neji. Hyuga Hiyashi. What are you two doing with your face like no one else around? Taking a deep breath, Hyuga Hiyashi said lightly, no training today, let's go play. Yes. Hinata and Neji felt relieved, and Neji decided not to be a light bulb beside him, and said indifferently, I'll go to the teacher. Single quote. After speaking, Neji turned and left. Well, Uncle Hiyashi, it's my fault that I haven't come to see you all these years. This is my gift, please be sure to accept it. Naruto watched Neji leave, and then with a heartbeat, he put his hand into the ninja bag and took out a book. The book looks exquisite and very special. Naruto lowered his eyebrows and handed it over. Hyuga Hiyashi glanced lightly, and just this one glance made him short of breath. Supreme version Kiss Heaven, where are you from? This is an out-of-print book. He also wanted to collect it at the beginning, but unfortunately there was no channel. But Uzumaki Naruto actually has a copy in his hand, which is unbelievable. Cough. Suddenly he realized that he had performed too much, and he coughed dryly. Well, this gift is good, I accept it. Single quote. It's nice of you to like that. Naruto smiles. Sure enough, this world is a world where even a man can't stand the temptation to make out in heaven. This is really a divine book. Well, let's go play, just come back early. Hyuga Hiyashi waved his hand, he can't wait to get into the room and study carefully. As for Hinata, Naruto is there anyway, so why not be afraid? Surely he wouldn't be abducted, would he? If it's abducted, let's wait a few more years. What have you been doing all this time? Walking down the streets of Konoha village, the two look alike. Young playmates, childhood sweethearts, childhood sweethearts. Unlike you, we have never been out of the village at all, and we have been doing those tasks all the time. That's pretty good, too. I thought about going out before, but actually going out is just that, but the outside world is really exciting and I can learn a lot. The Chunin exam is coming soon, do you know? Hinata whispered. I signed up, honestly we can give it a try with our strength. Single quote. Ah, I should sign up tomorrow. Great, we will become Chunin together then. Hinata looks forward to. Naruto, you should be able to become Jonin soon. With Naruto's strength, the Chunin exam is a piece of cake for him. You successfully aroused Hyuga Hinata's yearning emotion, tripled the critical strike, and gained the ability to roll eyes. Jonin, probably. Hey, Naruto, Hinata. While the two were talking, Yamanaka Ino jumped out from nowhere and said in surprise, Naruto, when did you come back? It's not long since I came back, how about it, let's go together. I'm treating guests to a barbecue tonight. Okay, single quote. Ino's eyes lit up when he heard that. Barbecue, it must be Warcraft meat. She likes to eat this meat the most, and this meat is only available at Naruto's, and it is not sold in other places. That's the point. This is a peerless delicacy that only a few of their close friends have the opportunity to eat. Ino suddenly looked at Hinata, his heart moved. Now it seems that this person will add a Hinata. Involuntarily, Ino looked at Hinata with a dangerous arc in his eyes. But in fact, she thought too much. When Naruto brought the two to a training ground, Ino suddenly realized that he was too naive. Yo, Tiantian, good afternoon. Naruto. Tiantian's eyes brightened. Are you back? Yeah, let's go, I'll treat you to a barbecue. Okay. Tiantian readily accepted it, and then she suddenly realized that there seemed to be two women beside Naruto. The three looked at each other. Tiantian smiled sweetly. Tisk, are you going to eat too? Single quote. Yes, Ino said generously, I didn't expect you to be too. Hinata stood aside silently, opened her mouth and didn't know what to say. This scene had a great impact on her. But the three of them didn't say anything, except Tiantian. Hinata and Ino have been in the same class, this situation has been expected. They have no idea. As for one more day. Now they are still young, who knows what will happen in the future. Only the person who goes to the end is the winner. Hyuga Neji watched quietly, saying that Uzumaki Naruto is a scumbag. I ran out, and you went too far this time, bringing two of them directly, and abducting a little beauty from his team. You are afraid that you are not sincere. Might Guy even burst into tears. Neji, Lee, this is youth. I only have Kakashi. It's too awful. Might Guy's teeth shine. Uzumaki Naruto, I would call you the strongest in this regard. The next moment, Might Guy returned to his original form, and asked with a smile, how about it, do you want to be my disciple? Single quote. Don't want. Naruto directly refused, and walked away with the three daughters. You successfully aroused the anger of Hyuga Neji, the critical strike is 7 times, and the gain speed is +1. You successfully aroused Might Guy's helpless emotions, triple the critical strike, and gain constitution +1. Naruto. Neji, what are you angry about? Oh. Abducted Tien. It's okay, you can continue to be angry, I went to eat barbecue. Back home, passing by, Naruto was shocked to find that his neighbor next door was moving, and the new residents were Zabuza and Shiro. These two were really powerful. Meeting Naruto's astonishment, Zabuza said casually, this is what you Hokage meant. Oh, so that's the case, then you can do whatever you want, I'll go back first. Naruto waved his hand and led Hinata and the others into the room. Etc. Watching Naruto go in, closing the door in one go, then suddenly frowned. It was 3 girls just now. Yes, Bai nodded with a gentle smile, and she's still pretty. Hiss. No more taking a deep breath. Bai, luckily you were a man. White. Didn't he wonder if you were a man or a woman last time? I understand now that he has a crush on you. Pale face turned pale. That's not enough. If I seldom wear women's clothes, I should not be noticed. But when I think of Naruto asking himself if he is a man or a woman when he sees him. This. Bujin and Bai looked at each other, took a breath, and trembled all over. Fortunately, Naruto is so young, but he has already started to hook up with girls, and he has succeeded in 3 cases. Niubi, broken sound. You have successfully aroused the fear of the ghost man Zabuza, hit 100 times the critical strike, and obtained 3 pairs of rings. You successfully aroused Bai's panic and anxiety, hit 1,000 times more critically, and obtained the Yellow Emperor's internal classic. Naruto, who was preparing the barbecue, was stunned. What were these 2 people thinking, and why did they contribute 2 strange things at once? Ring. Naruto looked at it, and his eyes suddenly became meaningful. Could this be for the future? Is it too little? With my current ability, at least 100, right? Cough cough. With a dry cough, Naruto looked at Wangdi Neijing again. Well, it's not the one in the legend, it's just wearing a name, but it can have the same effect. Flipping through it casually, Naruto's eyes straightened. This is a good thing. But look at yourself again. All right, forget it, just wait another 3 or 4 years, I'm not in a hurry. They are all good things, they will be useful in the future. Naruto glanced at the 3 women subconsciously, a smile crept onto his face, and he muttered to himself, now we want to fill up their favorability. Come, have a barbecue. Naruto beckoned. Let's help together. Single quote. Coming. The 3 looked at each other and hurried up to help. When the busy work was over and the barbecue was finished, Hinata and Tiantian's eyes lit up the moment they took a bite. This roast is so amazing. Yes, I've eaten it many times. Ino shouted. She did eat a lot at this point. Tiantian and Hinata gave Ino a blank look, but they didn't care. Anyway, they also ate this barbecue now, it's the same. Hinata's eyes sparkle. It's no wonder that Ino's strength is much stronger than them, just a little worse than Shikamaru Choji Sasuke's. Now it seems to be because of this roast. So, they can also become stronger in the future. In addition to the means Naruto displayed last time, Hinata can no longer imagine Naruto's achievements in the future. As expected of Naruto-kun, Hinata looked adoring. You have successfully aroused the emotion of Hyuga Hinata's worship, triple the critical strike, and get the water of spiritual energy. How can you eat barbecue without the water of spiritual energy? Come on, here's a bottle for each of you, but don't say it. Hiss. Another good thing. The 3 of them took a sip, and their eyes lit up. This icy cold water is a perfect match with this barbecue. The 3 also stated that they would never speak out, and whoever said it would be stupid. Looking at the word favorability +1 floating in front of his eyes, Naruto smiled all over his face, as expected. As long as you have a good foundation for yourself, you will definitely have this. And Shikamaru, their friendship. It's not the same, but it's about the same. This ability is really terrifying. Naruto admired secretly. In his opinion, this is comparable to the horror of brainwashing. As long as you give enough time, you will definitely be able to obtain surviving friendship and love. Tisk. Horrible. However, I like it. Old days. Naruto was invited to Hokage's office by members of Anbu. Naruto, how does it feel to be home? Fortunately, very comfortable. Seeing that the old man of 3rd generation wanted to chat with him about daily life, Naruto subconsciously sat on the side, and asked with a smile, how is Konohamaru's study recently? When I left, I asked him to come and ask you. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face suddenly turned green, and he almost cursed. Feelings are a good thing for your kid, let Konohamaru come and transform once a day, and ask him for advice. I'll kill you. The corner of his mouth twitched fiercely. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a deep breath, his face remained calm, with a warm smile still on his face. Aha, that kid is very hardworking, and now he is serious about his cultivation, I am very pleased. You have successfully aroused Sarutobi Hiruzen's boundless anger emotion, the critical strike is 100 times, and the monster meat +100 is obtained. Naruto squinted. I believe you, the old man is very bad. With a smile on his face, it must be you that MMP is talking about in his heart. A direct 100-fold crit hit, this is how much anger can be used to get a crit hit, and Konohamaru is really powerful. Naruto laughed inwardly. Nice job. Tell you to observe the bathhouse through the telescope technique every day if you have nothing to do. I feel comfortable inside. By the way, I heard that you are very powerful now. If you can defeat the ghost man, can you tell me why you are so powerful? What's the secret? Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled warmly, smoking a pipe, and looked at Naruto with a smile. Naruto was surprised. Isn't this what it should be? Single quote. Scratching his head, pretending to be very innocent, he laughed loudly. So old man, you also know how good I am, and the transmission is really fast. Sarutobi Hiruzen had black lines on his face. Am I complimenting you? I am asking you. You successfully aroused Sarutobi Hiruzen's depressed mood, the critical strike is 5 times, and the monster meat +5 is obtained. As for strength, I will become stronger if I train casually every day. You see, if I train my speed now, my speed will increase a little bit. Teacher Iruka said to persevere. I deeply believe it. Now my speed and strength are very fast, powerful. Guaranteed to make those beautiful girls like it. Puff. Sarutobi Hiruzen squirted out a mouthful of water. It was normal at first, but what the hell is behind you? Sarutobi Hiruzen stared at Naruto dumbfounded, his mind was a little overwhelmed. Isn't this jumping ability too fast? Hey, I learned this from you. Gun. Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted angrily. I never taught you this, don't slander me. Tisk. Naruto sneered. Okay, I see, you go back first. Okay old man, by the way, where is Konohamaru now? What do you want? Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Naruto warily, and Naruto smiled. I have a new idea when I go out this time. Get out of here. Sarutobi Hiruzen roared. Okay. Naruto quickly ran out of Hokage's office. This fool. Sarutobi Hiruzen blew his beard and stared. Now it's all about me, am I such a person? Well, a little bit. Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly came to his senses. Oops, he was led into a ditch, and he just asked in general why Naruto is so strong. Single quote. Training casually can make you stronger. If you really let Might Guy train, wouldn't Naruto go to heaven? Shall Might Guy train Naruto? Sarutobi Hiruzen thought about it, and finally shook his head. Forget it, it's not a good thing to be too strong, this way is pretty good. It's better to be lazy. After exhaling a few smoke rings, Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled and looked at the scenery outside the window with his hands behind his back. It's great, there are more and more people. This Chunin exam will be very lively. I didn't expect 4th Cage to agree to my request to watch this Chunin exam exchange. Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but smile when he thought of the Chunin exam this time. It is good that Naruto is strong. When the time comes to shock everyone, their Konoha village can also show those people. At this time, Konoha village is not something they can just bully. The daimyo will come then. Danzo didn't know when he appeared behind Sarutobi Hiruzen, and said lightly, although it's good, it's also a pressure on Konoha village. Practice makes perfect, this kind of thing is easy for us, isn't it? Your roots must also be sent out, and the law and order in Konoha village cannot be messed up. No, the two stood there, looking at each other speechlessly. Danzo is still thinking about Naruto at this time, just like Sarutobi Hiruzen, Naruto now, is pretty good. Isn't it? Kakashi, are you reading a book? In a dark spot in a training facility in Konoha village, Kakashi was looking at the makeout heaven when a man walked up to him and said hello. Oh, it's Senior Hiyashi, hello. I'm watching Intimate Heaven. Hyuga Hiyashi is smiling. The village is so big, and everyone knows their hobbies. Kakashi didn't care, and nodded casually. Look, I just got it yesterday. Hyuga Hiyashi suddenly took out a book and shook it in front of Kakashi. Kakashi's eyes straightened immediately. Intimate Paradise Supreme Edition. Senior, how did you get it? I remember this is out of print. Single quote. Well, it's a younger generation who respects me. Hyuga Hiyashi was happy in his heart, but his face was unsmiling, and he waved his hands casually. I like that young man very much, he is very polite. The younger generation. Kakashi frowned, as if thinking of something. his pupils dilated suddenly. Uzumaki Naruto. Hey, you're so smart. Gone. Kakashi's face darkened. What the hell are you, Uzumaki Naruto, who is obsessed with girls, knowing that your teacher and I have this hobby, but you don't give me this good thing, but to honor senior Hyuga Hiyashi, who may become a father-in-law in the future. It's understandable, but I'm still very upset. Ha ha ha, Kakashi, I'm so sorry. You successfully aroused Hatake Kakashi's depressed mood, the critical strike was 100 times, and the water of aura plus 100 was obtained. Naruto, did I do anything? Such a big resentment, 100 times crit directly, is unnecessary. Naruto carefully recalled what he had done in the past few days, and he seemed to have done nothing. Didn't they just come back yesterday, and according to Kakashi, they gathered this afternoon? So what's going on? Naruto was puzzled. Today I found a lot of strange people coming to Konoha village. If you look carefully, they are all ninjas from other villages. I don't know what they're here for. When gathering in the afternoon, Kakashi was late as usual. Little Sakura sat next to Sasuke. Chunin exam. Hearing little Sakura's strange inquiry, Naruto said casually, this time the Chunin exam is open to the entire ninja world, so basically as long as it is a ninja village, their ninjas will come back. Single quote. Maybe not many people in a village have to take the Chunin exam, but the number of people added up must be very considerable. I see. Sasuke and Shao Sakura Mingwu. Sasuke is even more eager to try. Can we also participate? Of course, Hinata Shikamaru and their teachers have all signed up, and we will probably sign up too. Well said. Kakashi suddenly appeared and said with a smile, this is the registration form, you just need to sign your names, and I will hand it in when the time comes. Your strength is enough to become a Chunin, so my personal suggestion is to participate. Of course, the specifics are up to you. I sign. Naruto and Sasuke spoke directly. Little Sakura hesitated for a moment, but still nodded. The three signed their names in a hurry. Kakashi took the registration form, glanced at Naruto subconsciously, and didn't get angry when he thought of the embarrassing senior Hyuga Hiyashi. Naruto. Naruto is alert. This Kakashi is not normal today. Where did you come from, the supreme version of the intimate paradise? Ah, this. Naruto was stunned. Isn't this the book I gave to my future father-in-law yesterday? How did Kakashi know? Thinking of Kakashi's inexplicable resentment this morning, Naruto felt a sense of comprehension in his heart, and his face turned black. So you are like this Uncle Hiyashi, I misread you. It's okay if you secretly watch it alone, it's just a collection value, and you actually took it out. Good for you. Hyuga Hiyashi's unsmiling character directly collapsed in Naruto's heart. Listen to my sophistry. No, listen to my explanation. Naruto looked serious. I bought this before, and I thought I would give it to Uncle Hiyashi. First come, first served, I can't help it. As he spoke, Naruto spread his hands, expressing that he was also helpless. Never mind. Although Kakashi has a heartache, he also knows that this kind of book is only of collection value. It is very tempting for him, but it should be the same for Naruto. However, the heart is still very painful. Clutching his heart, Kakashi felt it twitch. Looking at Kakashi like this, Naruto suddenly thought that there was another book called the Exclusive Edition in his space. This Jiraiya or bookseller can really play. Supreme Edition, Exclusive Edition, are there other versions, such as hardcover editions? Don't say it, it's really possible. Sure enough, many things in the world are interconnected. Naruto sighed. You successfully aroused Hatake Kakashi's helpless emotions, tripled the critical strike, and gained Kamui ability +1. Forget it, let's not take it out, and talk about it later. Naruto dismissed the thought. Kakashi also felt that he was thinking too much at the moment, so he waved his hand to signal the dismissal, and started to make a training plan tomorrow. He's going to hand in this Chunin exam form. I don't know how many people from Konoha village will be promoted to Chunin this time. Naruto Sasuke is not a problem, little Sakura's words are a bit hanging. You successfully aroused Sarutobi Hiruzen's depressed mood, tripled the critical strike, and obtained Warcraft meat +3. You successfully aroused Naruto's depressed mood, the critical strike was 5 times, and the aura green vegetables +3 was obtained. Naruto. Alright, don't worry about it, Uncle Hiyashi must be showing off. Very good. so you are Hyuga Hiyashi, stand up. Naruto walked aimlessly on the street. Today, Konoha village has a lot of traffic, and there are ninja forehead protectors from other villages everywhere. Since Naruto came across, Konoha village has never been so lively in his memory. It's more lively than the New Year's Eve. The crowd was crowded, Anbu and Root members were dispatched to maintain law and order. Naruto's head hurt from watching. He likes others to brag and joke, but he doesn't like such a scene that is too noisy. Suddenly, Naruto paused, and saw 3 people walking towards this side slowly. Naruto narrowed his eyes. It turned out to be them, what a fate. Ahead, 3 figures approached slowly, and the passers-by all subconsciously looked at them. These 3 figures were indeed too unique. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.